So you might be noticing that I am a suspicious amount of distance away from my bookshelf, further away than I've been in a while. That is because, if you remember at the end of last video, I my bookshelf collapsed, and I was like, ah, oh, damn, that's annoying. I should get that fixed. My shelf fell. I did not fix it. I proceeded to then have the bookshelf fall on my thumbs. Yeah, that sucked. I hated that. No notes. Many notes. Don't. I talk with my hands too much when I film these, so no handheld mic for this one. We're at book number 7 of the A-List series by Zoe Jean, American Beauty. If you remember last book, we went to prom, and Sam accidentally broke up with her boyfriend, accidentally cheated on her boyfriend. How do you accidentally cheat on your boyfriend? You don't mean it. It wasn't romantic. You still shouldn't cheat on your boyfriend. I'm questioning that today. But we've got 1, 2, 3 more books. That's crazy, guys. American Beauty takes place in the week between graduation. And what does that mean for Anna? This is truly an Anna book. Oh my god, I'm gonna be honest. These two are like my favorite. This one and this one kind of go back to like these two books where you're like, God, this is a lot. But we get introduced to a viable love interest that I think is a slut. You know? Man whore representation, if you will. I love Old Man Slut. I will probably get reacquainted with the story and have more. I should have done a little bit more. Things have happened. My life has progressed. Since I read and then the first bit of tabbing for this book. But let's read the back and then we'll run through like a mini synopsis. The A-List. It's graduation time for the A-List crew. That means lavish yacht parties, designer cap and gowns, and saying bye-bye to high school for good. Despite the festivities, Anna isn't in a partying mood. Ben's been acting distant, and she's worried. Maybe her father's hot tattooed intern, Kane Manning, will help cheer Anna up. Ever since her illicit kiss with Parker, Sam has been Eduardo-less and heartbroken, but hopefully Sam will use her brains and considerable means to get creative about winning Eduardo back. And the infamous Cammie? She couldn't care less about graduation. Not when she's so close to unraveling the mystery of her mother's death. She will stop at nothing to find the truth. Okay, yeah. So like Anna is dealing with what does the future hold? And Sam's got to win back her fucking boyfriend. Cammie is in another stratosphere. It's the fucking grooming Pacey of it all, which is like, man, I hope I can get into this. This film class. And Joey's like, oh my god, everyone thinks less of me because my dad went to jail. And on the other side is Pacey getting absolutely fucking groomed. Here Cammie is being like, did my best friend, my closest confidant, the person who I have held in my heart, we were girls together. Did her mom kill my mom because they were having an affair? You couldn't write better shit. I mean, you could, but you shouldn't. But you shouldn't. It is an immaculate moment, and Kane Manning is our slut, by the way. So, our little synopsis, as it should go, is that Anna is going to a graduation party. Like remembering a little bit more, I do like this, is that Anna is going to Sam's graduation party, celebration, pre-graduation party on the boat. Because we kind of fall in love at the end of the last book with Fee and Ophelia and Bree. Jazz and Ophelia. And they're sweethearts. They're sweethearts. We might be disillusioned with the prom weenies, but we fucking hate Palisades High. The Pacific Palisades High, because they got bitches at their school. Traitorous bitches. Traitorous bitches. Sam brings everyone together to have this themed party, pre-graduation party, because the other high school is hosting the actual graduation party. In which they are all to like scope out the competition. We're all supposed to be in agreement on how, like, everyone in the school, every popular enough person for Sam to give an invite is all in on this. Like, we all need to make sure that someone from Pacific Palisades doesn't win, and that we need to absolutely beat the bricks off of these bitches. So that's happening all throughout. Like every time I explain a plot point, something else related to that is also happening in the background. Sam is like, oh my god, I have cheated on my boyfriend. She is sending a dozen roses. She's setting cutouts of herself to him. She is doing everything she can, except for admitting that, like, she admits she's wrong, but like, except for giving him a little bit of space to win him back. I'm not saying that you shouldn't apologize when you've been wrong, when you wrong someone. I'm not saying you should even like not like fight for someone or like be like proving to them that you want them that badly. But when you are in high school, because she is still in high school, I feel like you should pump the brakes a little bit. Do some self-reflecting. Why did I feel it's okay to kiss Parker? You learn and grow from this. And sometimes you have to leave other people out of your learning and growing because you've already hurt them. I am not Eduardo's biggest fan, and that is probably apparent in this discussion. So, like, sorry. But he's a good man. And they get back together in the end. Parker ends up being instrumental in this. And that becomes important for the next book. It's either this one or this one. I don't remember which one's really the second to last book. I've had to put the books back on my shelf so many goddamn times. If anything looks different down there, it's because I don't know the order of the books anymore. We get that going. Cammy is like, I gotta talk to my dad. She talks to her dad. He gives her some flip-floppy answers, but she uses the power of money, the great plot mover, and it gets a private investigator who finds Sam's mom and says, hey, I want to talk to you. So Sam's mom comes out to LA to speak to them and tell them about what happened. And Sam's mom is effectively like, yeah, your mom? Super depressed. Like, I was a bad friend, like, no doubt about that. She was also egregiously depressed. Like so depressed. Like, every day was hard and you were the brightest light in her life and she just couldn't take it and she killed herself. Like, I fucked up, but, like, she was already, like, 1 foot to the new store. So Cammy now has to deal with the fact that her dad didn't murder her mom. Which feels like a wet fart. Like, it feels like that's such a good line. I don't know why they wanted to make him redeemable. Who cares? He's like a shitty LA agent. But this kind of brings her closer to her dad in some ways because they both miss her mom. Oh woo. Oh woo. That's the deal. And then Anna's like, Ben's being so fucking weird. Also, Dee has a storyline. She's fucking her boyfriend. Good for her. Parker's storyline is making sure that Sam and Eduardo get back together. Anna's storyline is like, Ben's being so weird. it's so crazy that he's being so weird with me. He's just like really been thinking. But Anna's been so disillusioned with how weird and like not attentive as a boyfriend he is that she starts thinking, maybe I should look somewhere else. Maybe I should look elsewhere. Enter Kane Manning, who's older, more distinguished. He's hot and sexy and fun. But he thinks she's young because she is. I, again, am like, you're 18, 17, 18. It's okay to play the field. Maybe stop dating the guy who you already broke up with once before because he was being weird. Maybe when he's being weird again, don't date him. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. But that's like her story to a point. And then at the end of the book, she's like, I'm so glad we talked about her. She's like, I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling. And how I'm feeling is disillusioned. And I love you, but this is very difficult. So she's like, I'm going to start playing the field. I don't need to just exclusively date you. No. She's like, I'm so glad we had this talk and we talked about her feelings. And they're at a fucking party. And the aforementioned Palisades graduation party. And remember what we had on our wall where Blythe, hot girl from Princeton, she shows up like several times and is like, I can't believe we won't be having any more hot, penetrable sex with each other anymore. We won't be fucking raw on the reg. We shared something. And Ben had literally just been like, oh my God, it was nothing. I shared nothing with that girl. Don't worry. Oh, it's crazy when I look up at it. I can see the individual lashes. Don't even worry. It's fine. You're so my girl. And then Anna hears fucking Blythe show up and be like, I'm so sexy and indigenous and threatening to your waspy white nature. Implication. And Anna motherfucking McLoses it. And so she breaks up with Ben and is like, time to assemble a roster. It would have been really nice to see like other members of her roster reappear. Danny Bluestone. Parker's taken. But like she could have had a harem. It could have been Superman's harem up in this bitch. But it isn't. Sad face. So this sets up next book for Anna to be ethically non-monogamous. And they graduate. And kind of the overarching things, like what is everyone going to do when they graduate? Anna's obviously going to Yale in the fall. She keeps fucking saying it. Sam's going to USC in the fall. She keeps fucking saying it. Kimmy might be going to Pepperdine. Or she might not. She's unsure. She's playing the field. Dee's storyline is that her boyfriend's fucking obsessed with her. She's having too much fun. Everything's too great now that she's medicated. And frankly, she deserves it. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say for this section. So we can move on, I think. Oh, woo. Look at her. Oh my God. She's gonna break my cabbage. It starts with Anna getting into... This book has the most fluff in it. Like, there's so much scene description, outfit descriptions. There's, like, so many parties they go to with gift baskets that must be described in detail. And also, as is normal with all these books, you have to explain the backstory for the first 90 pages. So, Anna is going to the pre-graduation party hosted by Sam on Sam's dad's super yacht, the Look Shark 2. Graduation is in 2 weeks. She's talking to her best friend Sin. Sin's graduation's in 2 weeks, and Anna's is next Friday. Sin goes about, they're all kind of living these rich bohemian privileged lives, and for the most part it's always such a lock that such prestigious and beautiful and rich. I'm talking at Dora. People, my executive producer has laid down, we're reporting laid down. So many of these people are looking to, have these rich, fulfilled lives. And they don't always get what they want. Synth has been waitlisted for Middlebury, the college that she wanted to go to, and her parents went to. But Synth's gonna figure it out. She'll do whatever. They put her on the dreaded waitlist, and then they didn't take her. Did you hear about the waitlist at Middlebury? Anna asked. Synth's parents had both gone to the prodigious liberal arts college in Vermont, but Synth hadn't gotten accepted there immediately. Instead, she had been placed on the dreaded waitlist. And yes and no. Meaning they didn't take me, the fuckers. Sin went uncharacteristically silent. So I'll be going to Kobe, which is like Middlebury, but in Maine. It's okay. Some of my favorite writers went there. Aww. Anna is going to this party solo dolo because Ben has randomly taken a disinterest in Anna, to Anna's mind. He has to work. Men sure do love working, don't they? Anna is at an intersection. Again, she's on the phone with Sin. California is like, you cannot drive while operating a cell phone. I think she's like hands-free, but girl, click it or ticket, put the phone down, put it in a box. She's watching these teens make out while walking across the street when she gets hit. She was just about to share with Sin the details of what she was witnessing when she felt the Lexus suddenly jerk forward. There was a sickening crunch of the metal and a tinkling of shattered glass, and Anna's head smacked backwards into the headrest. Accident, she realized, even as her earpiece and phone were thrown to the floorboard. Someone just hit me. Heart pounding, shaking with adrenaline, she turned around to see what had smacked her. A cherry red Honda Civic, dotted with rust spots, was on sawtooth 10 feet behind the crosswalk. Fortunately, her own engine was still running. She got the steering wheel hard to the right and managed to easily exit to the west side of the boulevard, directly in front of a red sign for wild women, yet another strip joint. Anna, in all of her waspy good breeding way, panics as she is now forced to deal with this adrenaline's crazy, and especially when you know you fucked up. So one must have heart and grace for this woman, but she acts absolutely belligerent to Anna, as though Anna has killed her and her entire family. The woman is like, I'm gonna sue the pants off of you. And I was like, you hit me. That does not do anything to stop the crazy woman. So Anna calls her boyfriend, her older, mature, good-natured, sweetheart, Captain Save-A-Ho boyfriend, thinking, he'll come. He'll save me. Gag. No. He's like, you were in an accident? Are you dead? No? I'm at work. Bonk. 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 It is so upset. Oh my god. Hey, Anna. His voice immediately softened. What's up? Nothing. Well, I just got into a car accident. Jeez, what happened? Are you okay? He asked, quickly, his concern obvious in his voice. That made her feel better. I'm fine. It's nothing. Just a fender bender, but thank God you're okay. Whose fault was it? Hers, I think. I'm going to trade license and insurance information. Do I need to call the police? No police if no injury. Definitely get her license and insurance information and you'll be all set. Listen, I'm in the middle of a work thing. Glad to hear you're okay. I'll call you later to check in. I promise. Bye. And he hung up. Anna just sat there for a moment, trying not to get upset. It wasn't fair to expect him to drop everything and come to her rescue, right? Actually, the whole damsel in distress thing wasn't very appealing. Well, it was appealing, actually, but she definitely was learning to take care of things herself these days. So she calls AAA, and AAA is like, hey, diva, something more important has happened. You are not our priority. You're just going to have to wait. And she's like, I'm a good white woman in front of a strip club. You can abandon me So she panics a little bit. Decided it was a long shot, but she could try and contact her dad and see if he could help her. He was shuttling between Las Vegas, Los Angeles, and San Francisco these days, trying to negotiate the acquisition of an off-strip but still pricey hotel and casino for a group of men in Salicito, who wanted to turn it into a gay and lesbian themed destination. But luck was with her, and Jonathan Percy was in Los Angeles, maybe he could get her out of this godforsaken neighborhood. So she calls her dad, and her dad's like, call AAA. And she's like, I tried that, and they don't have anyone me. And I'm just a 17-year-old baby, which, you know, yeah, I believe in that. And so he's like, oh, my poor child. My only child. What about Susan? The only child I like. Oh, no. So so he's like, what if I send over my new intern? He's great. He's good. I like him. I trust him. Let him come help you. And it's like, sure, whatever. This woman is crazy. And it's like, I have to take care of this myself. So she goes over to talk to the woman. The woman's car's still in the middle of the road. And she's like, my car won't run. I can't run. You know, and it's like, I'm just trying to be polite. And this woman's just being a bitch. Now you listen to me, whatever your name is, she told the driver, her voice shaky, but her tone steely. I have someone coming to help. He'll get here as soon as possible. In the meantime, unless you're ready to act like a human being, we are not speaking. I'll be in my car. Take that, she thought, as she turned on her gold, it doesn't matter, leather and topaz sandals and headed back to the Lexus. Anna Percy has balls. Well, figuratively speaking. She's so baby. When Anna's head isn't up her own ass, she can be a likable enough character. So, luckily, her knight in shining armor appears. Knight in charming and shining tattoos. She's like, I'm where I'm at. Please come help me. And soon, an electric blue Ford F1 pickup truck pulled directly in front of her car. A brunette guy wearing distressed Levi's with holes in both knees hopped out of the cab of the pickup and strode back towards her. He wore an olive green Brooks Brothers shirt with sleeves rolled up. Both forearms were indeed covered in tattoos. His deep chocolatey hair was slightly spiked in the front, his chin shadowed with light stubble. Silver hoop earring hung from each lobe, even the gay one. He had to be him. He tapped on her window. She pressed the down button and immediately noticed that one of his eyes was blue and the other was brown. Hi, Anna. I'm Kane Manning. I feel like I gotta get the whiteboard. I'm sorry. We must discuss this slut. Kane Manning is a dark romance academia slut archetype. I've been referring to this man as a slut the entire time. He has tattoo. He's gallant, hardworking. He is, and of course this all goes without being said, handsome. He's so are you lost baby girl coded. It makes me fucking sick. I will say that this, out of all of the men on Anna's love triangle, let me make sure that's all the men on Anna's love triangle board so far, because we're still not fucking done. This is the only one where I was like, oh, he's attractive. I still question why they decided to invent a new character instead of bringing back Harry Toe from book 4, but that is what it is. Just to recap, he's all those things. And part of the reason why I think I find him attractive is because he is an adult man. He's 23. He's 23 years old. She wants to die so fucking bad. I can't call him mature because he does have the mature. Okay, she's on the part that won't kill her. What the fuck, Dora? She's unhappy with my notes. She's making me change. I'm getting producer interference. Anna, 17-year-old girl, has dated 21-year-old Danny Bluestone, 19-year-old Ben Barum, 22-year-old Kai, and now 23-year-old Kane. Even the name Kane Manning are all connected to this 17-ish-year-old girl. Back to romantic archetype Kane Manning. Again, loves his grandmother. Like, he has a name. He has the name of a character who you would read about in a 99-cent smut book on Kindle, who would in fact cane you. And you'd be like, this is too on the nose, but that's stupid because it's horn hour. There is no judgment about writing. Why are you like this? Ripped jeans. He's cultured. He goes to the opera. She's loafing again. He's like annoying to Ben. And I think that's the thing that I like about him the most. Is it kind of shows what kind of a fucking jealous schmuck. Ooh. Jealous schmuck Ben is. He truly cannot put two and two together. I like Kane as like a romantic rival to Ben, and I like everything about Kane Manning for Anna except for the fact that he's 23 years old. But he's cute, but he's a slut. Archetypal. So he's hot. Oh no, he's hot. Hi, Kane. So Kane, she's like, this woman is crazy. Please help me. And Kane's like, say less, diva, I got you. Hi, Kane said amicably. Who the hell are you? Before he could answer, the woman stabbed a stubby finger in Anna's direction. This bitch is in so much trouble, I could get her arrested like that. She snapped her finger in what would have been Kane's face if he had been about 8 inches shorter. His response was surprisingly muted considering the traffic noise. You and I both know that you'd be the one getting in trouble for following too close. Be grateful my client didn't call the police. She was simply obeying the law by stopping for crossing pedestrian. Client? She chomped furiously on her gum. Kane nodded, then asked Frizzhead her name. Patrice McMasters. Frizzhead replied, words are hard. Client? She chomped fiercely on her gum. Kane nodded and then asked Frizzhead her name. Patrice McMasters. Frizzhead replied hesitantly, paling a couple of shades. Patrice. I take it that you don't actually have insurance. Look, she took a crumpled tissue from her pants pocket and spat her enormous wad of gum to it and then threw it in the general direction of wild women. I know that's against the law too, but I can't lose my car. I needed to get to my job down at LAX. Completely understandable. I'm just so damn stressed out, you know? Patrice nodded too. My God, Anna marveled. This was an entirely different woman from the one she had dealt with previously. How had her dad's intern accomplished that? College degree, baby. 2. I think he's got a master's. By 23. Now, there's nothing he can do about the accident. But my client is willing to walk away from this if you are each responsible for her own repairs. He eyeballed Patricia's battered Honda. I think you actually came out worse for it in effect. But there will be no claims or lawsuits. Sound good? Sounds good, Patrice agreed, perking up considerably. But I've only got one problem. My car won't start. And then Kane goes and fixes her car. 'Cause he's a babe. A sweetie. Ah. How Christ-like is his figure? You should have been a detective. Not for me. Carmen and I don't want to work for the man. Your girlfriend? Carmen. My truck. And as a bitch who refers to all of their vehicles by proper names, I respect Carmen. She studied his large cow's hands on the wheels and then the tattooed form. She's riding in his truck. An investment banking intern with tattoos and earrings. You can get away with that? The earrings come out on work days. I wear long sleeves at the office. And besides, your father has been known to loosen up now and then. What's up with the big tattoo on your right arm? Kane held it up. A stunningly beautiful woman was etched across his entire forearm, surrounded by lush seashells and swirling clouds. Her wavy hair was woven with vines. Sunlight haloed her hair. The figure was vaguely familiar. Botticelli, right? She asked, nudging her chin towards his arm. He nodded with a half smile. I guess you were paying attention in our history. My mother collects Italian painters. Don't you mean paintings? Both. What made you choose that one? Or is it too personal? Botticelli's birth name was Alessandro Filippi, Anna recalled. Wasn't it? Yeah, I just can't believe you knew that. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I missed the section. I'm sorry. No big secret. My favorite grandmother was from Florence. Angelina Princippa Filippi, he explained. Oh my god, she was the actual descendant of Botticelli. He gave her a curious glance. How'd you know that? Which is what I read before. He's so smart. And he's so cultured. And he's so handsome. And he's covered in tattoos. And he's 23. You're right, Dora. We should have him drawn and quartered. My grandmother fancies herself a distant cousin of the artist. I have no idea whether or not that's true. She came to America when she was a girl, put herself through school, taught art at Fremont High School in South Central for 25 years. She was like 4'11" and as badass as they come. Black people, scary. Anna knew South Central was probably the roughest section of LA. You've got it to honor her? That's sweet. We actually got drunk on Sambuca together one night, and we both got him, he admitted, laughing. She raised me after my mom died. Hell of a lady. This man is proto beats women, fucks women. So you're on your way to a graduation party. Your dad told me. I love being that age, chilling with my friends, you know. The truth was, Anna wasn't yet terribly close. Doesn't matter. It's okay, she allowed. But there are some girls who'll be at this party who make cobras look like cashmere kittens, tucked in wicker baskets. Kane's hearty laughter burst like fireworks. Anna grinned back, stealing a glimpse at his laughing profile. What a truly good guy he was, tattoos and all. Gratitude to him and just generally liking bubbled up inside of her. She could be friends with this guy. She really could. Are you busy tonight? She blurted out impetuously. Fucking Anna and these goddamn SAT words. Fuck. Remembering why she'd come to Los Angeles in the first place. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. A person couldn't have too many friends. She guessed that Ben would really like Kane too. She is incorrect. If you aren't, you ought to come with me. There'll be champagne at sea. I know for a fact that you're only 22. Anna could be spontaneous. But she was also prepared with the facts. There's light years between 17, 18, and 21, 22. Trust me. Plus, I'm not really big on champagne. What then? Brew. Ice cold. How many kinds of beer are there in the world? Kane looked quizzically. I can't say I know that. Well, however many kinds there are, Sam will have them all on the yacht. Trust me. And so, like, I want to dock character points from Kane for going to a party with 17, 8-year-olds. But the plot must continue. So fuck it, we ball. Anna shook her head, but listened for a minute. Heavy guitars and strong drum-filled beat filled the air, and over them a man's intense but muffled voice. I like it. And I like you, Kane said, flashing that killer grin again. Alrighty then, about this party. Count me in. So now we are on the Sharp 2. The Look Sharp. Again, we are at this yacht. We're in the mind of Cammy, who again, it's like, oh my god, we have to get I have to get my boyfriend back. We must get revenge on this counter school. Does my boyfriend still love me? Did my father and my best friend's mom kill my mother on a yacht 10 years ago? What are you fucking doing? Sam had redecorated the expansive room in keeping with the themes of her pre-graduation party, the 7 deadly sins: pride, envy, gluttony, lust, anger, greed, and sloth. The main salon had been transformed into the sloth room. In addition to the central bar with an enormous statue of a Greek god, Dionysus had been reconfigured into the crystal spouting fountain. The crystal spouting fountain. The A-list graduating seniors from Beverly Hills High School and a few lucky A- listers, invited because they were hot enough, amusing enough, or weird enough to be entertaining, had draped themselves on lush ochre velvet chaises that had golden legs and were laden with gold goose down pillows. The crowded salon had been too much for Cammy, so while Adam had stayed to get a drink, she ventured on to the yacht's promenade. Again, did Cammy's dad and Sam's mom kill that woman? It's like, imagine you're partying, you're having a good time, and then whoop. Is my dad a murderer who killed specifically my mom? Specifically. Unsealed documents. Sam's mom, who left Sam's family to move to the East Coast later that same year. Ooh woo. Dangerous. Jack and Dee are also there, being absolutely gross with each other. And now I've talked waywardly about the deal with the whole, I'm gonna read a really long excerpt, and you are just going to have to forgive me for that, and copyright holder is just gonna have to be chill. So guess who I saw at Ghost this afternoon? Dee asked, wide-eyed, naming a boutique on Robinson Boulevard near West Hollywood that was famous for carrying designer sizes and negative numbers, in other words, smaller than a size 0. I was trying on this Dolce & Gabbana sequin silk dress, and I come out of the dressing room and there's Pashmina Nazma, about to buy these ugly, zippy Balenciaga by Nicholas Grisk shit kicker boots. With her legs? Cammy asked, since Pashmina was built like an Oakland Raiders linebacker. How were you able to keep your lunch down? Care to fill me in? Adam asked, cocking his head to the side and raising his eyebrow in an amused expression. I don't have individual eyebrow control. They both move as a unit. Jack groaned. I really don't want to know. You don't really want to know, do you? It's gonna be girls shopping bitch slap fest. No, it don't. No, it won't. Dee insisted, kissing his cheek. Pashmina and her friend Stephanie Weinstock are the girls I told you about. You know, the ones who are giving the graduation party later this week. Do they go to our school? Adam looked perplexed. Nope. But it's not all that fascinating, Adam. Nope, but it's not all that fascinating, Adam, Cammy opined, and then put her hand on his arm. Every year, Pacific Palisades High School and we have a joint pre-graduation party. Last year it was thrown by our school. This year it's thrown by theirs. Pashmina and Stephanie are the 2 most evil girls on the planet, but Pashmina has the coolest house in Los Angeles. Well, besides Sam's. Her father, invented the internet. It's Thursday night and we're all going. It's a tradition. Adam didn't look impressed. Why would you go to a party thrown by 2 girls you hate? You're not even going to remember their names next year. You may not remember you're going to Paloma, but I'm going to be right here in Beverly Hills. Running into them at the Ivy, I'll remember. Hey, that was your call, Adam reminded her. You're the one who didn't want to start college next year. Next year, any year. I deserve it. Anyway, why do you play basketball against kids you hate? To win. Bingo. We outdo them. There's a contest as part of every party, but they don't announce it until, the day before. Am I gonna be sorry if I ask why you hate them so much? What they did, Cammy frowned at the memory. It's a long, ugly story, so I'll describe one incident for you. After Stephanie moved to Pacific Palisades, a year and a half ago, Sam and I ran into her at Pashmina on Blue and Blue. Sam and I were sitting outside in the patio section because the tourists sit inside and try to pretend they're somebody. So anyway, Stephanie and Pashmina were with these 2 Abercrombie guys. They're pathetically trying to impress. Just how long is this story? You asked, I'm answering. Sam was having killer cramps, so I went with her to the bathroom. We get back and slide into our seats. Sam feels something squishy. She jumps up, and the ass of her white imitation of Christ jeans were covered in dog shit. Jack required this chick. Yup, put dog shit in her chair, Cammy filled in. Sam wasn't self-conscious enough in white jeans already. I told her not to buy them, but that's not the point. You sure those girls did it? Adam asked. Adam had been raised by 2 politically correct lawyer parents and was always trying to give people the benefit of the doubt. Fuck yes. They were falling over each other laughing. Then Stephanie blew Sam a kiss and they ran out. There was a long moment of dead silence. Who gets off on that kind of cruelty? Stephanie Weinstock. Cammy replied darkly. First her mother, then Stephanie and Pashmina. Why is she spending all this time on such loathful subjects? So, that is why we hate these bitches in a story. So they go to Greed and get, again, like I said, there's a lot of fucking fluffing on the talking about what's in all the baskets. D's like, the baskets are great. And it was Jack. Smart, sexy, deep Jack. She had met him the night of senior prom, which you know. And they're so in love with each other. It's so great. So now it's time for lust and envy. In stark contrast to the rest of the ship, which was mainly muted reds and browns, this room was completely white, save for a dozen tall windows facing the stern. A throng of at least 60 kids was jammed around a white marble platform suspended from the ceiling. Adam and Jack led their way through the crowd to get a better look at whatever was fixating everyone so thoroughly. Then Jack lifted Dee up onto her shoulders so she could see. 6 girls wearing nothing but pale lime green bras, lacy panties, garter belts, white patent leather, Electra 2020 go-go boots were dancing wildly on the platform, even helping up willing guys to gyrate with them. Looks like Sam got the Pussycat Dolls, Cammy noted. Great idea, but you should have warned me. Dee knew the Pussycat Dolls, a cabaret group fixture at the Roxy for many years. I don't get it, Adam mused loudly to be heard over the pulsating music. Why is the name both lust and envy? Isn't it obvious, man? Jack replied as he put Dee back on the hardwood floor. These guys are drooling all over themselves, but the girls are analyzing whether or not they look as good as the dolls. He leaned over to his new girlfriend and whispered, You're way hotter than any of those girls. So's Cammy, Dee whispered back. You're hotter. This thrilled her. He thought she was hotter than Cammy Shepard. No one was hotter than Cammy Shepard. Shall we press on? Pride is a full self-service salon at the end of the deck. Anger is the pinata at the stern. What about food? There's only so much you can take on an empty stomach. Gluttony is downstairs. And so Dee and Jack go off to go be intimate. So many of Dee's chapters end with and her and Dee and Jackson and Jack go off to be intimate. It is so, I don't want to read it. It's tantalizing in a way that feels weird because these are children. Back with Anna, she gets on the boat. Sam actually held up the boat so that she could get on there. She runs into Cammy first, who's a bitch. And Kane's like, she's fun. And Anna's like, yeah, she's mad at me because I'm dating her ex-boyfriend. She's like, oh, you have a boyfriend? And he's like, why is he not here? And she's like, he had to work. And she kind of gets the vibe that he's like, meh. And she's like, I thought we could be friends. He's like, we could be friends. I thought you and I could be friends. Kane threw his head back and let out an easy laugh. I figured that too. Anna laughed with him. She liked Kane a lot. Ben is great. I told you, I read people really well. You're true to your type guy, correct? He upended his beer and finished it. Honestly, yes. He hoisted the beer bottle as if into toast. Good for you. Not enough of your kind left in this world. Anna finds Sam, who is already beating the shit out of a pinata. They continue to walk until they reach the stern. There was a helipad back there for when the yacht was already at sea. Jackson wanted to join, and Jackson wanted to join the voyage. The voyage! Just past the 2 small cedar chopper, Anna saw a massive school-shaped pinata suspended from a weighted and jointed metal rod. Gathered around it was the cheering crowd. In the center of the crowd, whacking the pinata, was Parker Pinelli and Candace Lepore. We're beating the shit out of Pacific Palisades High. Then she took in Kane. Hey, Anna. Who's your date? Kane extended his hand to Sam. Kane Manning. Sam Sharp. Nice to meet you, and thanks for getting Anna here in one piece. Thanks for waiting for me. For a while, I didn't think I was going to make it. I was stuck there, and then, take that, Stephanie Winecock, you ridiculous BB. Candace shrieked, batting away at the pinata. The crowd cheered so loudly that Anna couldn't finish her sentence. Who's Stephanie Weinstock? Anna wondered aloud. Surely you jest. You know, B&B? Bring Indian beer? Kane guessed. Sam shook her head. Admirable effort, but it stands for bitch in BMW. She's legendary. And that's for you too, Peshmina Nazbom. Candace took another swat at the pinata. Who are these girls? Anna. Sam sighed. You've lived here among us for 5 months. Surely you've heard of Stephanie and Peshmina. No, Sam, I haven't. Whatever. Kane, excuse us. We're about to do one of those things where 2 girls pretend they have to go pee so they can talk in private. I do respect. I don't know if I like it, but I do respect the fact that they just straight up like are introducing characters that we're supposed to hate with a passion that just haven't been around. It was more important for like Cammy to be the main villain of these. It was more important than having fucking Stephanie Weinstock and Peshmina Nussbaum be involved in this at all. But it is hilarious that they're just like, you don't know who what the fuck is it? What is it? You don't know who Glub Shitto is? How can you call yourself a Star Wars fan and you don't even know who Glub Shitto is? Revoking your stand. Their names are Stephanie Weinstock and Peshmina Nussbaum. Sam leaned out of the white metal railing of the bow of the look sharp. They deserve to be ruined, especially Stephanie. Graduation week is the time to do it. Actually, their graduation party is the time to do it. I don't even know this girl. Why would I want to dedicate my last week of high school to destroying her? Just listen. Stephanie used to live in Beverly Hills. Her father was an orthodontist on Wilshire, who was one of the first people who started using those clear braces, you know, that Tom Cruise had back. Remember, it seemed like he really thought no one could see them. From the mouth down, he suddenly looked like he was about 12, except for the rest of his face still looked 40. So it was really weird. Anna shrugged as Sam plunged on. Stephanie, we used to let Stephanie hang out with us. She had zero style and even less class. She was a project like Emma or Clueless, like that formerly fat girl Maddie who was living at Ben's house. She went back to Michigan, by the way. So we taught Stephanie everything. How to flat iron her hair, the right skin stuff. We got her to stop wearing purple nail polish. We took her for her first body wax, for God's sake. Talk about Harry. The girl's back is like Cro-Magnon. She's a heresy. Got it. Sam nodded. She even came to sleepovers where we told each other our deepest, darkest secrets. Then her parents got divorced and she moved to Burbank with her mom. So far, not hating this girl? Oh, you will. So the mom married this asshole with a bad comb over who invented the dead fish tie. I think she likes inventors. Anna was totally lost now. What are we? The dead fish tie, Sam repeated impatiently. Shaped like a dead bass. No one we would know would wear one, of course, but they became huge in places you'd only go on a forced march. You know, states with a lot of strip malls or whatever. And every discount mart in the country brought this shit. This guy made $1 gazillion. They brought an old mansion in the Pacific Palisades right in the ocean. The point is that Dee, Cammy, and I made this girl. This actually doesn't make any sense. You were nice to her, and she turned against us. Sam felt bile rise in her stomach. Why? Who knows? I ask you, does Pinocchio hate Geppetto? Stephanie then used everything she knew about us to hurt us. How bad? She started a website called Oink the Pig. Every line referred to me as Pig Sharp. Anna inhaled quickly. Oh my god, that's unbelievably mean. She used to call Dee and have entire conversations with her and then would claim she never called. And that Dee was hearing voices. That's sick. Tell me about it. Which is like, y'all didn't know Dee was going to be sick before. I digress. So Stephanie and her best friend Peshmina are giving a 2-school graduation party at Peshmina's house next Thursday. Sam concluded. She threw the tail. I want to teach them a lesson they'll never forget. Sam, this girl sounds awful, but to sink to her level, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. She opened her Kate Spade bag and took out a steel lip gloss. And if you do, so what? Sam slit her lips with gloss and then linked arms through Anna's. Revenge is best served cold, Anna. let's get back to your new boyfriend before you jump ship. Anna's like, I reject this whole cloth because I think I'm better than you. And actually, this is all has to do with you getting back with Eduardo. And she's like, don't worry about that. I'm going to get back with him. I'm going to get back with Eduardo. I am devising a game plan even as we speak. As if to prove her point, she dug her ruby and diamond encrusted Samsung phone out of her bag and pressed one on the speed dial buttons. You're calling him? Sam shushed her friend. Eduardo's voicemail played. Hi, it's me again. Just give me a chance to explain, Eduardo. It's nothing like you think. Next time I call, answer. Please. She's such a bitch. I love her. Try an email, Anna suggested gently. At least you'll get to explain yourself. He'll delete it. He might not. It's worth trying. I know he loves you. Let's get back to piñatas. I want to sublimate my anger. 2 minutes later, Sam was wading into the midst of the piñata bashers. They still hadn't brought down the Pacific Palisades High School piñata. 2 fingers in her mouth and she whistled. Everybody, chill out for a second. I have an announcement to make. Parker lowered the club. The crowd noise died down and everyone waited. As we know, Sam began, this year Stephanie and Pashmina are giving the big graduation party. Fuck Stephanie! Someone yelled and the crowd booed in support. Sam waved her hand to the audience to silence the noise. Indeed! Parker, give me that club. Everyone cheered. Sam took the thick wooden stick from Parker and whacked the piñata with all her might. She was one of those girls who lived at LA Fitness, but there was more than enough muscle mass fueling her. There was fury. After 3 smashing blows, the papier-mâché schoolhouse shattered. Instead of candy flying out, tiny plastic dolls scattered over the deck. They were all oddly headless. Sam scooped up one. Written on his little t-shirt was the name Stephanie, just as she had ordered. On the back were 3 letters. R.I.P. She chuckled. The headless doll... She chucked the headless doll over the side of the yacht. Dead in the water. Just like Stephanie would be at her party. Well, at least socially. Which is sometimes worse than the real thing. Okay. I find these to be painful. Because... She's just a baby. I find these to be painful because I like the Cammy storyline about her crashing out over figuring out her mom's murder, but because her baseline bitchiness is already so high, her crashing out is really high to the point of it being unbearable, not only to me, the reader, but her loved ones, and thus it can be really touch and go, let's say, to listen, to recap. But I also like this quote because I love when people, it is never a question on if Cammy loves Adam. It's always a question if Adam loves Cammy, but Adam's kind of simple, so yeah, he loves Cammy. And so it's just, they're so cute together. The yacht had docked at midnight. It was now nearly 1 in the morning. It occurred to Cammy that she must really love Adam. The proof was that they were zipping along the 10 freeway in Adam's mother's green Saturn. A Saturn. Love is so beautiful. They are gonna go confront Cammy's dad. For a while, Cammy had wondered if her mother had ended her own life because she'd rather be dead than be Cammy's mother. It was a heartbreaking notion. Confirmation that on some level, Cammy wasn't sufficiently lovable. Now with the information that Adam had brought to her, Cammy felt closer than ever to proving her mother's death hadn't been a suicide, or the result of some drunken accident. Is it nuts to think that Sam's mom and my dad murdered my mom? Yes. You know, there are a lot of different reasons that aren't murder. But, you know, all of those things don't seem like Cammy's dad. So Cammy is like, it's probably murder. I love a good book that's self-aware about it being a book. Yeah, I know, but still, this isn't one of your dad's TV shows. It's not going to tie up in a little bundle at 60 commercial free minutes. Yes, it will. Don't worry about it. They pull up to the house in Bel Air, and they get upstairs, and he's not there. A Xerox blow-off. Cammy Shepard. Mr. Clark Shepard arrived from Europe this evening as scheduled. However, due to his considerable workload, Mr. Shepard asked us to inform you that he is checked into a bungalow at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and under no circumstances is he to be disturbed. Many thanks, Aliester Blaze, personal assistant to Mr. Shepard. So, of course, Cammy goes over to the Bellevue Hotel, in which she tries at first to butter up the receptionist, a model type named Jara, but that doesn't breed the results she wants, so she gets bitchy real quick. They're like, hey, leave a note. And she's like, not good enough, that's my dad. And then she has herself a fun little freak out. She, like, bitches and it doesn't work. People aren't falling over themselves against her. She has hit a wall. To the point that she's nasty to Adam. And he's like, hey, yo, first of all, stop ordering me around. It's ugly, nasty, bitchy, and pretty much all around uncalled for. Are we clear? Sorry. So she's like, we should go and knock on all the bungalows. And security walks them out. Because, girl, you are going to go to prison if you continue to behave this way. She ends it with, Adam, I'm sorry. Her voice was low and sincere. I hate myself and I treat you like that. I'm not particularly fond of you at those times either. After a silent beat, they seemed to go on for an eternity. He relented. You just have to have all this adrenaline built up to get into it with your father, and he would throw you again. I got it. Tomorrow. Well, later today. He can't duck me forever. And then they go and screw at home, I guess. Good for them. Okay, so we don't know a lot about these parents. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about these parents. They're music exec, woo-woo, bullshit type people. Cammy comes by her neurotices, honestly, as her parents are just fucking wackadoos. Her and Jack go to a, like, pre-release, pre-debut showcase of a band that Dee's dad is managing, and they just cannot keep their hands off of each other. So literally, while she's feeling the music, she gives him a sneaky little, and thus they go off to go into a closet. They get frisky, and then the showcase is over, and they're like, shit, we can't be caught here. So they then exit, and Dee's like, oh my god, Daddy, I didn't know that means the blah. And our father's like, yeah. Jack, if you hurt my daughter, I'll eat you alive. Sir, where the fuck have you been for the last 5 months? You hurt your daughter. She's in a mental facility. But whatever. I'm not a parent, so who am I to judge? They're gonna go to Le Petit Retreat. And just for me, I have been... I need you to look at my face for... Oh my god, my light turned off. I'm gonna need you to look at my face for this. I'm wearing lash extensions. Now, these are not natural. I have a goldfish on my face. But... This did inspire an interest in lash extensions for me. We'll get there. Le Petit Retreat was the spa of the moment. Rich people. She decided to begin with the outside. Yes, she was ridiculously rich. So she's sad about Eduardo, so she's going to get herself a nice spa visit. Eduardo loved her fully for herself, and she's so sad about it. Like, put in there every time that something happens that Sam says, and Eduardo loved me, despite me being a rotted bitch. So, Cammy and Anna and Sam are going to the spa. The treatments had all been prearranged. They'd each begin with an aquasonic lymphatic microdermabrasion facial on the massage tables in their chambers to firm, oxygenate, and rejuvenate the skin by detoxing the lymph system. A moment later, Shiva knocked discreetly and asked if she might come in, handed Sam a bone china cup of herbal tea, and then asked Sam if she'd prefer jasmine, eucalyptus, or primrose scent in her room. Sam picked jasmine. Shiva pressed down on a button on a panel, and moments later, the aroma of fresh flowers subtly filled the air. Then another female entered, and Shiva departed. This young woman, who called herself Natasha, wore the same outfit as Shiva, save for the third eye glued to her forehead. Hers was blue sapphire, had a blonde crew cut, and a perfectly chiseled bone structure to pull it off. Lie back and clear your mind, Natasha instructed in a voice that had the faintest Russian accent. Enjoy your facial. She sank into the bubbling water, her eyes closed of their own volition. Oh my god, this might be the best thing I've ever felt in my life. In that case, you better tell Water to step up his game, Cammy commented from Sam's other side. That is, if he ever speaks to you again. That was bitchy. Rude. Sam reopened her eyes. Trust Cammy to say the thing that guaranteed to bring the tension roaring back. You're right. Sorry, I'm dealing with this shit about my dad. Had Cammy Shepard apologized? Cammy never apologized. Sam knew Cammy was referring to what had happened on the yacht. She turned her head and dropped her voice low so Anna wouldn't hear. We know the Sam's dad. His dad's here. And then we get to the point that I care about. I have one more treat for you guys, Sam announced. As their fingernails and toenails dried, 3 professional makeup artists appeared along with Shriva. Ladies, your new 3D lashes are semi-permanent lash extensions, their spa envoy explained. They will be applied one at a time to your existing lashes with special waterproof bond that will not be disturbed by makeup remover. They will stay on for 2 months. If you wish to remove them, simply return to us and we will use our special polypeptide bond remover to gently take them off. But they're so weightless, so utterly and totally natural, that we have not yet had a client choose to remove them. More likely, you will decide to return in 6 or 7 weeks to have new ones applied. 90 minutes later, all 3 girls were batting their new lashes into magnifying mirrors, handed to them by their lash technicians. This rocks. I really can't see where they're attached at all. Oh, I'm so adding this to my regular beauty routine, Cammy said, admiring her jet black lashes. This is great. Sam, thanks, Anna added gratefully. This has been really fantastic graduation present. I wouldn't be able to figure out how to outdo you. Even Anna's enjoying getting cuntified. Slay! Anna's feeling salty that Ben isn't hanging out with her and generally is still just like dealing with her feelings around Ben and the treatise party. I think I've gotten my books mixed up. Kane calls her and is like, hey, I got the car fixed. Don't worry, you're just gonna get a loaner. You're gonna be chill. And she's like, a week? She's like, you're so practical. And he's like, yeah, I'm a 23-year-old man. She's like, yeah, I love my boyfriend. My boyfriend's great. My man. And he's like, hey, how serious is it between you two anyway? He asked smoothly and casually, as if he were inquiring about the weather. It was a good question. Certainly the relationship was intense. Ben had been her very first, and to date, only lover. But still she couldn't shake the niggling disquiet about this afternoon's phone call. I don't know how to quantify something like that. We aren't seeing other people. Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed, but that's fine. Have fun. So you wouldn't mind if I called you as friends? Would you? He added with gravitas. As friends. Anna giggled. So, she's got school. She ends up wandering up. She gets this phone call while they're at the spa, and so Cammy's like, you don't seem like his type. And Anna is perturbed like that. He'd do Rose McGowan over Kira any day. Maybe both at the same time, which is so not your lack of style. That stung. Anna knew she was hardly the exotic sex goddess type. Was that what was bothering Ben? Was she not sexy enough? He was just being friendly, Anna, she insisted, as they pushed out of the spa's massive oak front doors into the late afternoon Beverly Hills sunshine. The valet arrived in Cammy's BMW immediately. When she was gone, Anna imperiously turned to Sam. Do you think you can tell if something's wrong with your relationship even if the other person doesn't say anything? Sam is reasonable and is like, girlie, just ask him. Just come out and say you have an issue. And she's just like, but he should tell, which is annoying. She wondered if Ben would notice. She flicked it back, and the back of her hand brushed against her newly lengthened eyelashes. She wondered if Ben would notice. She'd never been big on the idea of feminine intuition, yet she couldn't get over the feeling that something was going on with him, and whatever it was bad. Ben takes her to a date in Chinatown where he knows all the restaurant people. She's so excited, and they get to hang out, but it feels very elderly couple. They're very comfortable. He doesn't talk to her. He chit-chats with the waitress, who he's got a banter with. And then finally, he's like, oh my god. We're gonna finally hang out. They never talk. They don't talk anymore. That's all Anna wants, is to talk to her man. They decided to go see the new David Lynch film, though Anna had agreed with some trepidation. She wasn't a big moviegoer by nature, but had been completely nauseated by Blue Velvet. She had loved The Straight Story, which was why she thought she'd give him another chance. The Rocket to Russia a try. Evidently about 500 other Los Angelonians had made the same decision. The line to buy tickets was snaked back nearly to the glass doors. What time does it start? 8. Anna? Anna turned around. The line was one of those parallel velvet rope queues with 4 or 5 different routes to get to the ticket seller. Standing in the next queue was Kane Manning. He was alone in a gray Calvin Klein khakis and black t-shirt, short sleeve, so that his tattoo showed. There was a copy of Spin under his arm. She felt herself flush, as if she had been caught doing something. She still hadn't told Ben about that she had been with Kane at Sam's party, yet Anna had been raised well. Her mother had always emphasized the importance of appearing unfazed, so she smiled at Kane as if running into him at the Grove was the loveliest surprise in the world. Hey, I thought you were going to the symphony. He ducked under the rope. I ended up giving the tickets to a friend. So this is the guy. You just gave up your place in line, Anna pointed out. Kane gestured to the expansive theater. I'm not worried. I'm going to see The Best of the Best Part 7, a karate movie. Somehow, I don't think this is a big chop suey crowd. He held out his hand towards Ben. Hi, I'm Kane Manning. Ben Birnbaum. Ben slipped a proprietary arm around Anna's shoulder. You two seem to know each other, I take it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm her ex-husband, Kane deadpanned. What? She didn't tell you about that? Or Kane Jr. either? The custody battle was a bitch. A 32-year-old man. 32-year-old man, by the way. Anna laughed. Kane is my father's intern, she explained, hoping that would ease the scowl on Ben's face, praying that Kane wouldn't mention Sam's party. No such luck. And the occasional daughter rescuer, Kane put in. I had a great time on the boat, by the way. Kane went on. It had been nice to see Anna, to invite him after Ben couldn't help her out of the accident. She told me all about you. You've got a great lady there. Ben nodded and fixed his eyes on Kane's heavily tattooed right forearm. I didn't know that Jonathan Percy was into hiring rockers. Hey, we've all got our own thing. I like tattoos, rock and roll, late nights, smart ladies, wise old men. Don't hold it against me. He leaned back on the heels of his black Converse All-Stars. So I'll get back in my line. Nice to meet you, Ben. He ducked back under the velvet rope. Gotta love Jackie Chan when he beats the crap out of bad guys. Supplements aggression better than Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. You into Jackie Chan, Ben? No, Ben replied bluntly. Their line edged forward. Kane pulled out a $20 bill out of his wallet. Man, they charge a mint for a flick these days. It would be cheaper in Minnesota, but then I'd actually have to be in Minnesota. Does he ever shut up? Ben muttered under his breath, putting his arm around Anna as though forward. I have to say that there's something about that guy, well, I don't like. Well, I do like him, Anna thought. Besides, running into him is what got you put your arm around me. Maybe a little competition isn't just a bad thing. I love Kane Manning because he's a fun character. I kind of hate Ben as a character. He's very annoying to me. He's so annoying. Like, he's at least a character, but he's an annoying character. But I appreciate characters. Characters welcome and all that. Saw the movie, they liked the movie, but they've left the movie, and they're back to feeling like strangers. So, she finally decides to do something, be proactive. So she starts kissing him outside the door and is like, ah, my dad is not home. And so she invites him, he's like, haha, say less. Invites him into her room and notes how fucking Luddite her house is, that she just like has no TV, no MP3 player, no iPod in her room. Just her bedroom, which freaks him out a little bit. They kiss, and then he's like, we don't have to have sex. And she's just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? She doesn't say it, but emotionally, she's like, what do you mean you don't want to fuck me? It's like, what are we doing? What was all the strife for if you don't want to put mouth to hole? Yet Anna was anything but okay. His words sent her brain into Anna Percy overdrive. Part of her believed him, and that if he was lying, it would have just been as easy for him to have made an excuse outside and left. Instead, he had done his best intimidation of Rip Butler and carried her over the threshold. You couldn't fake that. Could you? Girl, I don't know. So Sam, we are getting to follow Sam along on one of her hijinks. She is going to a fancy-dancy hotel. She then, not a hotel, a condo, a building of the stars. Eduardo happens to live there. She's like, I just need... Christ, everyone was in this town was in show business. Sam put her hand out without answering. May I have the article back, please? And can you tell me if Eduardo Menendez is here? He nodded. Now what do you have in mind? Some people need to get to Eduardo. It's a little surprise I'm planning. He frowned. I don't know. She pulled a $20 bill from the back pocket of her jeans, and having stashed them in there just in case, she slapped them into the palm of his hands and curled. She pulled a few $20 bills. That's important. Slapped them into the palm of his hand and curled his fist around the money. Better? The doorman smiled and pocketed the money. Much. Good. Stand aside. You're about to see a genius in action. So, Eduardo is hanging out in his room. It's all delightful. And then 3 middle-aged men in tuxedos with white towels over their arms stood before him. Between them was a silver room service warming box on wheels. Eduardo Menendez, the oldest of the 3, yes. Yes, how may I help you? Dinner for one from LA Farm, the man continued. Ceviche of Angola with beets, goat cheese, and pine nuts, crispy Thai shrimp, loup de mer and white saffron sauce with snow peas, a cornucopia of berries and sorbet, and 2 different wines, a Chasse Montret, 87 for dinner, followed by private label German word for dessert. I trust this will be satisfactory. He felt just slightly sick to his stomach most of the time, lovesick maybe, but he was determined to get over it. Certainly he'd get over it, eventually, even if his body kept telling him a different story. Who ordered this for me? A friend. Maybe come in and set it up for you? Please. So they're like, Ayo, food's ready. And he's like, with that, he heard another knock at the door. Come in, it's open. He called, the door opened, and it was the lead waiter again. I'm sorry, Mr. Menendez. We neglected to bring in this one thing. Patrick? He turned to the front door where a second waiter carried in something long in cardboard under his arm. He set it out on the chair opposite Eduardo. The cutout had been manufactured to bend at the knees. Your dining companion, Mr. Menendez. Edward found himself sitting across from a life-size full-color cardboard cutout of Sam. She was wearing tennis clothes, exactly the ones she had had on in Mexico the first time they had spent any time together. Words were scrawled in giant black letters across the front of the cutout. The cutout's tennis shirt. Bon appetit. Call me. So, that's the end of that. And Sam's like, I don't need to wait long until he calls me. So she goes and finds Cammy. They're at Whiskey Blue and they get some mudslides and chat it out. Sam resolves to help Cammy get some information about, excuse me, her mother. No, there was another person on the boat that night. Your mom died, remember? Your mother, who told the police she had sex with my dad on the boat. I know the whole story. I told you. For God's sake, Cammy drained her glass. The bartender motioned like he was ready to make her another, but she shook her head. Maybe we don't know the whole story. Sam reasoned. Maybe my mom didn't tell the cops everything. Sam, think. You haven't spoken to your mother since, like, the 21st century. She lives with who the fuck knows where. What makes you think she's ready to spill her guts to Dominic Dune? Or to you? Good point. I wonder if she realizes I'm going to graduate from high school, or going to film school at USC. Cammy offered a shrug. How could she possibly know? You didn't tell her. Your father didn't tell her. She probably doesn't get the school newspaper. And somehow, I doubt that she's a regular reader of your father's webpage of the news. Do you even know where she is? No, but I'm going to find out. I'll hire someone to find her, and then I'm going to talk to her. We are? Yes. Okay. So the bitch doesn't give a shit about me, Sam went on. Fine, got the memo. But she was with your mom the night she died. I say she owes you an explanation. You would do that for me? Sam couldn't believe it. Cammie's tone was reasonable. Not reasonable, grateful and appreciative. It reminded her of when they were little girls, and Cammie had been afraid to swim underwater despite months of lessons at the Riviera Country Club. Sam recalled how Cammie had been playing with one of her mother's necklaces in the Sharps' enormous backyard pool. Suddenly the necklace had slipped from her grasp and settled like the heart of the ocean diamond at the bottom of the pool. Sam had offered then to do a surface dive to retrieve it. It seemed like Cammie had said the exact same words in response. "You do that for me?" "Yeah, of course," Sam replied. Now she had then. "I don't deserve that kind of loyalty." "Cam, come on. We've been friends forever." Cammie played with the stem of her glass. "I don't exactly excel at friendship. I mean," Sam waved a dismissive hand. "Whatever, neither do I." "Can you handle 2 favors in one night?" Cammie bit her lower lip. "Just call me the Sam of Arc. What do you need? You busy in the morning?" Shook her head. "Well, now you are." And the now you are is them going off to Hermosa Beach to finally confront the old man. Danny stopped talking. The room fell silent. Cammie took everything in. The writers in their late 20s and 30s, sleep-deprived and rumpled, a token female writer. They were always either drop-dead gorgeous or a lesbian who had Hollywood gay mafia clout, or both. Whiteboards covered in episode beats lined the wall. The center table was a mess, littered with old takeout containers, candy wrappers, and half-consumed bottles of Dasani. Anna saw Danny give Clark a curious look. "Cammie?" her father inquired calmly, raising his dark eyebrow. He leaned in his Herman Miller Aeron metal mess chair with the black A testosterone by Norvège shoes up on the table. He was dressed more casually than usual in gray slacks and a pink Bud sport shirt. "Now, you've taught me well, Dad. I've learned from the best." "Dad, you've given me no choice." Cammie felt the venom pump through her. "You've ignored me, avoided me, and hidden from me. Not today. I want some answers." She took a step towards him and saw all the writers were now staring at her. No one challenged Clark Shepard like this. They were watching the equivalent of the sun rising in the west and setting in the east. "Good. Maybe you guys can learn something from me." "You, my mother, Sam's mom." "Cammie, I told you. Later. Go shopping on the Strand. I'll take you to lunch. We can talk as long as you'd like." He grinned hard and looked at his writers for affirmation, but everyone just stared at him, dumbstruck. "All these people are witnesses." Cammie folded her arms. "We can definitely do lunch, but we're also going to do this. I know you were screwing Sam's mother. The police report says that you were on the boat the night that Mom died. It's time you told the truth. A simple yes or no will suffice. Did you kill Mom?" For some reason, we then get held back. We get sent back to Anna. Anna wakes up in bed with Ben. I keep wanting to call him Dan. With Ben, and she hears her dad moving around. And she's like, "Oh my God, I'll go deal with it. You stay up here." And then he just like appears, and she's like, "Huh?" But luckily, so Jonathan began in a conversational tone. "Did you spend the night here with my daughter?" "I did." Silence. Anna felt sick to her stomach. She was about to get busted for bringing her boyfriend home for sex when no such activity had even occurred. I didn't know you'd be home." Anna stammered. I should have asked you. I mean, when I was your age, my parents would never have let me have a girlfriend stay over," Jonathan recalled. "Of course, that was back when dinosaurs roamed the earth." "This isn't a casual thing," Ben explained. Anna felt him put a hand on top of her forearm. The touch made her feel positively unsettled. This is a gesture of a lover. But were they still lovers? "I know that. You two met when? New Year's? You're doing a lot better than 2/3 of the relationships in Los Angeles." "Oh, it's been 5 months." "Ben's welcome here anytime," her father declared. "Just one thing, Anna. Don't get the idea that I'm going to be happy if I come down to breakfast and find a different guy at the table every week." Okay. That was way, way over the humiliation line. "I would never do that." Anna tightened the belt on her robe. "She would never do that," Ben echoed, putting his hand on Anna's back. Her father laughed heartily and got up from the table. "I believe her. I'm just being a dad here. Give me a little credit." And then Ben leaves, and Anna's like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Whoops, I checked my messages right before I came downstairs," he explained, his eyes holding Anna's. "I've got to get going. I promise I'll make it up to you." Anna doubted that was possible. She smiled a tight smile, kissed him goodbye, far away from his lips, on his cheek, as he promised he'd call her later. Then, a feeling as if her heart was breaking, she watched him walk away. The moment Ben was out of sight of Anna's house, past the corner of the Foothill Drives and Lamitas, he pulled the Merc to the curb. He had a call to return immediately. It went straight to her voicemail. Yeah, hi, it's Ben. Stop by where I work this afternoon. Treese. Come in at 3:30. I have a management meeting at 4. See you. He clicked off and started the engine again. It was a glorious day in Los Angeles. Bright sunshine and 80 degrees, with that cloudless, gleaming blue sky you never saw anywhere except for right up against the Pacific off to the east. There had been brush fires burning for the last few days near San Bernardino, a typical occurrence in California in early summer, but the gentle onshore breeze from the Pacific was pushing all the smoke towards Palm Springs instead of back towards Los Angeles. It was a day to feel good, but instead he felt like shit. Why did everything have to get so goddamn complicated? Why, Ben? Why? So, back with Cammy. The more important storyline, for God's sake. Cammy and Dad of the Year over there talking. The reason he's been hiding out from her is that there's a Paradigm deal being acquired, but the people don't want to give him a fancy office. We get to finally hear about Margaret again. Rip Margaret. Peter Bart will say in Variety that the personnel styles of the principals didn't mesh, but the bottom line is that they weren't willing to give Margaret and I offices as big as Norm's. Doesn't matter, on to the next. As so you can see, I wasn't avoiding you. I was looking out for our family. On your dead wife's birthday? Alright, bud. Here's what I want to know. The boat, Dad. What happened out there? I was wrong not to tell you about Sam's mother. I admit that. No shit. Enough with the fucking cursing, young lady. A beat of silence, and then they both laughed, and the tension dissipated slightly. You got me, as he tented his fingers. How the hell was I supposed to tell you? You'd lived so long without knowing. I couldn't see where it would have made anything but heartache for you and your best friend. Since when do you care? You think I don't care about you? He eyed her curiously. It must be all the quality time we spend together that tipped me off. Well, you're wrong, he stated bluntly. For Christ's sake, you're my kid. A lot of parents don't love their children. Clark? You're not the first. I don't suck at loving you. I suck at showing it. He tugged at something deep inside of her. But she reminded herself that he was a master manipulator, and he was damn well not going to manipulate himself out of this one. The boat? How'd you find out? It doesn't matter, does it? No, it certainly doesn't. You're just about to tell me that you stopped yourself. I mean it. Cammy, since you're not going to college, I would be happy to put you on a desk at the agency as an assistant. Skip the mailroom. You have a future in this business if you ever decide to quit shopping for clothes and start shopping for talent. Nice line, Dan. The boat? What did you do? You're so sure I did something. She would never have left me on purpose. She tried to keep her tone measured. My mother was a wonderful person. She deserved a hell of a lot better than you, and she loved me. She never would have... Cammy stopped and swallowed hard. She never would have left me on purpose. So don't try to feed me some bullshit about her, because I know better. She folded her arms. Your turn. You're right. It was my fault. I was screwing around behind your mother's back. I had a fling with Sam's mom. I had a lot of flings, come to think about it. She wasn't happy with Jackson. These things happen. Cammy gritted her teeth. Oh, do they? I'm not saying it was a mature thing to do, but I've never been a very mature person. That way... Janine was on the boat that night. I thought your mother was sound asleep, but she caught us together. I was drunk. I said some dumb things. But your mom sucked in the sack, if you must know. It wasn't true, but like I said, I was so plastered. Cammy could barely control her vitriol. And then nothing. She said she was going back to bed. I don't know what happened after that. Cammy stood stiffly. She would not cry in front of him, no matter what, and dead-eyed him. She let out a forced scoff. Tell me, how does it feel to have murdered your wife? I was an SOB, I grant you, but I certainly didn't mean for her to kill herself. Please. She leaned down and scooped up her bag. You did everything except push her overboard. I will hate you as long as I live. Cammy found her best friend where she thought she'd be hidden, behind black Ray-Bans on a bench, face the beach, reading The Hollywood Reporter. Cammy was in there, Sam contacts, Adam to be like, hey Diva, what is the name of that person who helped you? And thus they get a move on getting the dick. They gave me some names. I made some calls. Just hired someone named Melanie Mays, former FBI. $200 an hour. But what the fuck? Buy cheap, you get cheap. She said she can find your mother. Sam nodded vigorously. Good. Cammy resisted the urge to say thank you because there was only so grateful she could be to one person in the space of 2 days. It struck her anew. Although they sat together in the bright morning sun, Sam Sharp is the best friend she would ever have. Sam is such a good friend. I love Sam. Anna calls Sam to get the feelies out after she's talked to Ben about whatever. Anna can't help but lament about how New York she is and how she would rather go and get a cup of coffee than to than go shopping while talking. She's trying to talk to Sam while Sam is also plotting on Eduardo. That Anna feels that Ben isn't paying her enough attention while Sam is on Operation Eduardo. Operation Eduardo for this bout is she is going to buy him 100 cell phones, and she's going to block every other phone number so the only number he can call is her. Speed dial is her number. It's all about her. Hey, beautiful. Hey, you're on the book. Sam tells Anna she needs to be an active heroine. She needs to be more like Cammy. She needs to go after what she wants. She can't just lament about her feelings. She needs to go after what she wants. Was Ben that big of a wuss that he'd sulk around behind her back rather than simply be honest with her? Yes. Unfortunately, the two of them didn't have a very good track record in the honesty department. Other people felt a need to verbalize their internal monologues, but Anna did not, and neither did Ben. See, I'm a monologue-ass bitch. I love to talk about my feelings. How can you know if I don't tell you? So Sam is talking to the guy for the cell phones. Money is no object when it comes to the game of love. But there are different options based off. Fine, this one. Sam blindly stabbed a finger at the brochure. The sales rep looked confused. Well, okay. Do you already have a phone, or will you be needing a let's cut to the chase? Any phone plan, any phone. I'll need that for 100 phones, which I'd like programmed now. Now, what did you say your name was? The name is Stuart. He hesitated. Did you say Anna? Sam turned to Anna. Did I not say 100 phones? You did, Anna confirmed. I have no idea why, Stuart, but I have a feeling she's going to explain. Sam hitched a finger in Anna's direction. Stuart, now see this girl who knows me? Fine. 100 phones on plan whatever. I want every single number on them blocked except for a single number that I give you. And I want to have that number programmed into all the speed dials too. Is this like a joke? No, it's not like a joke, Sam replied. Well, I don't think we can. It's gonna cost. Stewie, baby. Let me tell you who I am. I'm Sam Sharp, as in Jackson Sharp. As in, I'm not concerned with about the cost of this. As in, do you think you can make this happen within the next 5 minutes? Stuart turned beet red. Glad to hear we're on the same page here, Sam said with a smile. Stuart excused himself to speak with the manager, and Sam folded her arms, tapping one patent leather platform-clad foot impatiently. Anna tried to fill in the blanks. You're ordering 100 cell phones for Eduardo, and the only number he can call on them is yours. There's a reason he gets straight A's. Anna laughed out loud. That's actually kind of brilliant. Yes, it's great. It's sweet and funny, and shows how much you want him. I should do something like that for Ben. No, you shouldn't. I'm going to have the phones delivered to Edward in a giant box. Any number he pushes on any phone, he's going to get me. He'll laugh, don't you think? So now, while they wait for that to happen, they're going to go shopping. Anna's really upset. And Sam finally, when she's out of the cloud of the Eduardo sting, is like, damn, you're really fucking upset. I can see it in your eyes. She's like, no, I'm fine. Because it's like, girl, expound on your feelings. It wasn't like she hadn't been trying to tell Sam exactly that, yet Anna couldn't help herself. Her knee-jerk reaction was to lie and murmur, "No, I'm fine." God, she'd been well-bred into being a damn robot. According to her mother, being well-bred meant that you never let on that your life was anything less than serene. If you were the center of a 10-car accident on the 405, you'd say, "I'm fine, thank you," before bleeding onto the paramedic's feet. "Please," Sam challenged. Sam walked away, facing Anna. "Okay, not fine," Anna forced herself to admit, and then as they leaned against the metal rail beyond which they could look down to the floors below, because the mall was constructed like a giant angel food cake, she told Sam everything. "Okay, so it's more than he did in Rock Your World last night. What does Ben say is up?" "I haven't exactly asked him." "That is so you," Sam marveled. "How can you stay not knowing?" "I can't, and that's the problem." "Here's a novel concept. Ask him. At least you can think about me and Eduardo. The guy won't even talk to me. Yet, that is." "But I did ask him if anything was wrong. He said no. You can't force someone to confide in you. That is utter bullshit. He's your guy. You have this serious big-time relationship. Starring you, Anna." Starring me, she thought, and felt ridiculous just thinking about it. "I know exactly why you haven't confronted him." They began moving away from the railing and stared. I need you all to know that approximately 5 minutes ago, she got off of the couch and started to fight me. And yet here she is, demanding to be the center of this filming setup. She's precious, baby angel. "Yeah, you bitch. You're afraid to find the truth. There's nothing to fear but fear itself." Franklin Roosevelt. She's just like, "Girl, get over yourself and ask the man the questions you want answers to. You can't expect him to just intuit it. You can't study someone to get that information. Sometimes you just have to ask." So Ben gets a call. It's fucking Bob O'Reilly, because he's fucking Gen X. He's at work at Treast. And then there she goes. Now I'm going to do a lot of reading, and for that I apologize. She was a damn great looking girl, yeah, I do admit. On the short side, very curvy, a la Salma Hayek. In fact, she looked a little like that actress. Her naturally raven hair fell straight past her slender shoulders. Compliments of her mom, a full-blooded Sioux. As she had confided to Ben one night, her grandparents still lived on a reservation in Nebraska. Blythe was a fascinating girl. She dressed like a pretty stuck-up bitch. Most everyone at Princeton thought that's exactly who she was. It was authentic, too. From her father's Portland, Maine first family blue blood side, Ben didn't know how Blythe's parents actually met, but he did know that her family background was an uneasy mesh of two very different worlds. They had met at the movies, of all places. Blythe had taken off her shoes during a midnight showing of Rocky Horror that she had gone to with a girlfriend for nostalgia's sake. Evidently, back in high school, junior high, she had been a fixture at a midnight Saturday show at Portland's Soul Art House. Somehow, her black velvet Steve Madden wedge heels had migrated to the row where Ben was sitting with Jack and two girls where they had met at the Ivy Club on Prospect Avenue. They'd end up going out for coffee, and that wasn't all they'd end up sharing. They'd end up becoming friends, and things had progressed. Shit, why'd he let that happen? And how'd he hanging out turn into more? Ever since he'd come home for the summer, Blythe had been calling to discuss their relationship. To make matters worse, she had called over the weekend to say she'd be in Los Angeles in 2 days, visiting her older brother Derek, a junior development exec at Disney. She couldn't wait to be with Ben again. To Ben's shock, she had started talking dirty to him. All the things she remembered about him and all the things she wanted to do to him. And all the things she wanted him to do to her when they saw each other. Ben had freaked ever since Blythe's phone call. If Anna found out how much Blythe was pursuing him. Now, one must ask. Now, you'd think, I know these people are literally freshmen in college, going to their second years. But like, diva, just talk to your girlfriend. Hey, while we were on a break, I was, pursuing things, trying to forget about you, if you want to say it in a romantic way. I was trying to forget about you. And there were some other people, but it's over now. I've broken it off with them. I'm no longer seeing them. So that you and your partner can even attempt to be a united front against What could possibly be coming? My executive producer, you guys. She's really on my ass. But no, we must have the plot happen. Hey, gorgeous. He was sitting in one of the outdoor lawn furniture chairs that were spread around the patio. She leaned down to kiss his lip, somehow supergluing her body to his at the same time. I missed you. Blythe then motioned to the second lawn chair he had placed near his own. Ooh, too much too soon, huh? She smiled and tossed her inky black hair, sitting down and crossing her right leg over her left. I can't help it. Seeing you gets me hot. Ben was determined to take control of the conversation. You remember I told you about Anna? Sure, breathed easily, lifting her heavy dark hair to fan the back of her neck. Is it warm in here or is it you? It's warm. They turn the AC off when the club isn't open. I don't know how to make this any clearer to you, Blythe. You and I had sex one night. That's all. During a time when I thought Anna and I had broken up forever. And that's all that happened. Not sweet, Ben. Blythe's thick but perfectly groomed eyebrows rose. But I know you better than that. What are you talking about? You're not like a screw and run guy, she replied. You care about me you care about me too much to be like that. I know you do. Plus, she ran a toe of one black Chanel stiletto against the leg of his faded jean. You can't tell me the sex wasn't great. Well, I suppose it was, Ben admitted reluctantly. Bad answer. God, if Anna were anywhere nearby, she would freak. And I do care about you as a friend. She laughed her throaty laugh. You do what we did with all your friends? A good amount of them, actually. Yeah, a good amount of them. All but Sam, I think. Because I'm not the kind of girl who rolls around with her friends, you know. You know that about me. She looked him straight in the eye, her expression suddenly deadly serious. This was true. During one of their late-night conversations, she talked about the two lovers she had had and how both relationships had been serious. How the hell was he allowing himself to get this carried away by a few beers and some steamy kisses? He ran a nervous hand through his thick hair. Blythe, I don't know any other way to say this. I told you this before at school after I came back from Vegas. I'm with Anna. You and I are just friends. We have to pretend that drunken one-night stand never happened. Wow. That stings. He hated the hurt on her face and knowing he had caused it. I don't want to screw things up with Anna. I see. She stood, tears in the corner of her limpid eyes. Sometimes the heart and the lips say two different things. I was reading your heart, and the reason I was so sure I'm right is that you're breaking mine. With those words, she turned around and walked away. Ben put his head down on his arms. Why did he succumb to one drunken night of lust? How had he gotten himself into this terrible predicament? He went back over everything he had said and done and concluded once again that he hadn't led her on in any way. Yeah, great. But he felt damn guilty anyway. I think if you fuck somebody who tells you that they don't fuck their friends, I think you have to stop being friends with them. I don't think you gain any brownie points by proving them wrong. I think you just open up a situation in which now they're going to continually keep trying to progress the friendship. But that's just me. D. She's hanging around, thinking about what's next. She writes in her journal. D would be a world-class poster. She would be some mix of lolcow and beautiful angel. She'd be a world-class poster because of her many malfeasances of the mind. However, she doesn't believe in journals. She believes that internet blogs are pre-adolescent and last week. So she writes in her journal where no one else can read it. In her journal, she writes about all the places she wants to fuck Jack. She talks about how much she cares about him and how interesting and hardworking he is. And how much she is enamored by that. And that's kind of what attracts to you. But what is he attracted to about her? Her hot little body. And her kind heart. Because I'm into you for more than your hot little body, my dear, Jack explained, his hand slipping dangerously close to the edge of her gold-pleated Riaz miniskirt. Dee smiled. This was grounded upon which she felt supremely comfortable. She'd worn the skirt along with a burgundy Valentino tank scattered with gold seed pearls, specifically for this occasion. Under it was a white Calabessa mesh thong. They be fucking. Like, that's... It's really hard to read some of their stuff out, because Dee rejoined the plot to be fucking. He is gonna take her to go hook up in front under the H of the Hollywood sign. She can't wait, and they have sex in the driveway in the car. They be fucking. Back with Sam and Cammy. Sam laments bringing Poppy back into the plot, that she really thinks that they're becoming a family. Meanwhile, Sam is dealing with the ramifications of her mom screwing Cammy's dad. They brainstorm what they're gonna do at Stephanie's party to pay back for her indignities. Also, what they're gonna do about the family thing. We also get a bit of growth from Sam. One thing about Sam is that she truly does grow from the time that we meet her to the end of the series. I truly appreciate that about her character. And we are currently in the back half. We are in our closing arcs of everything. And she's truly blossomed into a delightful and thoughtful and interesting young woman, not just wrecked with her body dysmorphia. Sam's eyes flickered over Cammy's flawless body in her teeny tiny bikini, a baby blue Dior triangle top edged with silver-tipped lace, and a low-cut matching boy shorts that showed more ass than they covered. It was so much hotter than her own aqua moon tie bandeau one piece. Oh sure, it was easy for Cammy to make such sweeping statements. She looked like that in a bikini. If she looked like that in a bikini, like Cammy looked in a bikini, Eduardo would probably have pushed Parker out of the way to beat on that beach that night and kissed her himself. Then the healthy part of her psyche bitch slapped the insecure part. Yeah, right. Eduardo loved her just the way she was. Well, he had anyway. Losing weight and magically having her fat calves turn thin would not change anything. Cammy makes a comment about Sam acting desperate and like making Eduardo think he has power in the situation. But he does. She fucked up. Cammy admits the fact that she hurts Adam all the time, and hey man, you know, maybe I am the bitch, maybe I am the problem, and maybe your relationship's healthier. I'll never know. So, time to talk to the detective. What have you heard from your dick? Cammy asked. I don't have a dick. Not even Eduardo's anymore. I believe dick is slang for detective, silly girl. I've heard nada, Sam admitted. All I know is that your father was doing my mom, but everyone has sex with everyone in Beverly Hills. That's no reason to get out of Dodge. Good point, Cammy agreed and poured herself another bloody. Maybe the whole thing with my mother makes me more insecure about Eduardo. Abandonment issue. Is that love worth fighting for? Especially good love, accepting love, kind love. The idea of, love being forever and eternal is not the lived experience of most of the young people in LA. But maybe they can make different decisions. I'm not saying it because it's true. Cammy hoisted herself out of the tub and padded over to the redwood stands of fluffy 600 thread count fuchsia and blood red Ralph Lauren damask towels, took one and used it to dry herself off. My parents loved each other. She sat on the edge of the velvet top chaise and wrapped the towel around her neck. My earliest memories are of them together. They were laughing, my father dancing my mother around the living room in that crappy little house in Mar Vista we used to live in. Look where that shit led. How about we talk about Jackson and your mom? That was a match made in heaven. Just heaven in a parallel universe. The dick calls. I found your mother. Miss Sharp, are you there? Sam inhaled sharply through her nose. Yeah. Sorry, I heard you. You found her. Across the tub, Sam saw Cammy's eyes bulge from her head. It's fast. It wasn't all that difficult. She's running the living section of a local newspaper in Western North Carolina under her married name. Sam was suddenly dizzy. Everything felt not quite real. Go on. I told her you were graduating from high school on Friday. She now has your cell number, as you instructed. Is she going to call me? Did she say? Actually, she gave me a message for you. She said she'll see you on Friday. So, it's time to meet Sam's mom. The not dead mom. So, Parker is a good man, and he tries to fix what he broke. He goes to the consulate, lies about needing a visa, and goes off to, talk to Eduardo. Post-graduation, he's worried about post-graduation, because what plan does he have? He didn't get a sugar girlfriend to carry him. He's not really making it currently in the movies. His mom is weird. His life is just bad. Why bring that negativity onto others? And Sam is his friend. God damn, he liked Sam. He owed Sam. Sam had power. Maybe even the power that could likely give him a break in the business down the road. She was hurting because of their prom kiss, caught in the act by her boyfriend. Maybe there was something he could do for her that would not only be kind, but also be in line with self-interest. Sure, but he puts in a lot of work. Goes up to speak with Eduardo and tell him that Parker Pinelli would like to see him. Eduardo comes out and gets him. He talks to him and speaks to the heart about how much Sam loves Eduardo and how much she was hurt that night. He plays the prom footage and is like, she won prom queen and you weren't there and that hurt her. So actually, this is your fault, actually. Sam saved prom and was really good. And everyone loves Sam and you weren't there to see it. He also speaks Spanish. And he's like, she still betrayed me. And he's like, hey yo, we were drunk and shit-faced. She was not trying to hurt you. She was trying to sell soup. Which, like, but they're high schoolers, so what am I to say? So Anna goes with Ben to a deli to confront him over all of her feelings, but it doesn't even work out because she gets a call from her dad who's like, hey, come home immediately, pack it up. And wouldn't you know it, her mom and her sister's new boyfriend, they are at a sober living commune. For a moment, a brief moment that every time I read it, it reminds me of my own time of graduation, where everyone you love is around you and they are very proud of you and it's serene. It is much less chaotic than what could be a birth of a baby or a wedding, where everyone is aware of your accomplishment. It is quite real and tangible, but it is not earth-stopping. That's kind of like when I hear people be dicks about people, like, doing up people's high school graduations, and being like, it's not like everyone graduates high school. Not everyone graduates high school, you dumbass. You asshole. Oh, you're gonna do it again. Maybe. Maybe not. This might be the only time, and you should celebrate it like it's the only time. So, Ben doesn't tell Anna about the whatchamacallit, about the Blythe, and Anna doesn't get a really chance to confront Ben about her feelings of feeling neglected emotionally. Happy graduation! Anna stopped dead in her tracks. Barely 5 feet from her, in the middle of the foyer, was not just her father, but her mother, Jane, her sister Susan, who had just made the big surprise announcement, and a mystery guy with a brown bushy beard and wiry unkept hair. He wore blue drawstring pants with a sort of white tunic. Susan rushed forward to embrace her sister, words tumbling out of her mouth. Surprise! Mom came from Italy, and Gordon and I came from the East to surprise you for your graduation. So say something! Oh wait, I should introduce you. Anna, this is Gordon Freed. Gordon, meet my little sister, Anna. Then she threw her arms around Ben. It's so good to see you. Nice to see you again too, Susan, Ben acknowledged with a sudden grin. You seem like you're doing well. Don't matter. A moment later, Jen Percy moved in towards Anna for a double French-style air kiss that came no closer than 3 inches to Anna's cheek. Let me look at you, Anna. She took her daughter by the shoulders and frowned, taking in the ancient white t-shirt, ancient khakis combo. Have you been beachcombing? Quintessential Jane Percy. No, Mom. Surfing. Well, her mother's voice turned surprisingly upbeat. Perhaps sometimes you'll show me how do they say, hang ten. The notion of Jane Percy on a longboard, not to mention uttering a painful cliche like hang ten, was so comical to be absurd. Then Anna rubbed both her temples as visions of the next few days and in famille flashed in her head. She got along okay with her mother, but Jane Percy always was so judgmental, sometimes hard for Anna to maintain her sang-froid. As for her sister, Anna loved Susan fiercely, but Susan had a lot of problems. She always seemed to mess things up. Over the years, Anna had been the one to clean those things up. But yeah, family time. Susan has been in a institute for the last couple of months, and it's done wonders for her. She's better now. Don't worry. She hugs her mom and is like, hey, I'm just glad you're here. And her mom's like, I'm glad to be here. And in some way, that is healing, that there is so little expectation, that everything is just nice. While Anna's doing this, Sam calls Anna to be like, hey, fuck, why aren't we talking? She pulls into Will Rogers State Park in Santa Monica, on one of the nicest beaches between Santa Monica and Malibu. She sees people paired up like penguins, and she's feeling like shit. Happily ever after for everyone else, unlike real fucking life where the guy that runs up is Eduardo. Your not so complicated, your highly creative pursuits succeeded, by the way. Dinner the other night was excellent, though my dinner companion was a bit of a cardboard cutout. I called you this morning and you didn't answer. I called Anna and she said you were here. Yay! She's like, what did it? And it was Parker. He showed me your film of your prom. He explained some things to me about how you were feeling that night. He stopped and ran his knuckle tenderly over her cheek. Samantha, I wish I could have been there to see you win your crown. Sam blinked back her tears of joy this time. His arms went around her. No more kissing anyone else. Drunk, sober, lonely, angry. It doesn't matter. We don't do that. You got a deal? She nodded. Afraid that if she opened her mouth at that moment, the tears would begin and she wouldn't be able to stop them. She swallowed hard and smiled. I couldn't have had my dad's attorney write up a better memo if you want. It's legally binding, you know. I like this kind of binding better. And she kisses him and she's like, shit, I owe Parker Pinelli one big ass graduation present. So hold for that. So it is now time for them to get ready for Stephanie's party. Now, if you remember, the theme is like, I'm sorry. The pillow was falling off. You would have slid right off. The theme is released the morning of the party. So now they're going to the San Fernando Valley to go to effectively a Walmart to go and buy cheap. Here's everything I know, Sam began. Stephanie called this morning and laid it down. After she waxed poetic about her vacation last month to Antigua, bitch. Anyway, the theme for the party tomorrow night is cheap. Not cheap chic either, just plain cheap. No one can spend more than $40 on her outfit. Winning outfit gets to pick a girl from the opposing school to be her slave for the day. She said to bring a price tag and receipts as proof. If cheap is the goal, Mega Mart is the place. So, really, all you need to know is that Anna is getting woke and thinking about poor people and how the poor are treated in California. And they pick out lingerie, items to be cut, all sorts of things. With Cammie getting some platform, they slap Anna in a pair of platform shoes that are a size too small and sky high. Dee, whose feet were tiny, dug out some girls' red plastic cowboy boots for $12. Black wedge espadrilles, rock climber ass toes, and it's time. Everyone's in their trashiest outfit for under $40. I'm just gonna read you the last page because they are in such of their own world that I think sometimes they forget that other people exist, as we often do and have rich internal lives. Shopping completed and outfits assembled. They dumped everything in their carts and pushed it towards an endless checkout line. The girl who rang up their items name tag included that she should be called Jolene, wore a pink shirt so low-cut that her massive bosom strained to plop out onto the conveyor belt. This was no shocker. Cammy had noticed that almost all the girls and women in the Megalomart were curvy and fat. Curvy fat. Didn't they want to be thin? Didn't they feel the pressure? Sam asked for separate receipts for each item they brought, pissing off everyone in the line behind them. Meanwhile, Cammy watched in fascination as a heavily tattooed, grossly overweight guy with an exceptionally hairy chest and unlit cigarette dangled from his lips charged up to Jolie. "When you getting off work?" "Regular time, hun." "I'm going to Bud's tonight, play pool." Obviously, there was some kind of romantic relationship between Jolie and the hairy behemoth, who also apparently had not showered in a number of weeks. His body odor was rankling. "Aw," Jolene turned to him. "You're never home. How you gonna show me that you love me?" "Hey, I told you I'll be at Bud's. That's love." He belched loudly. Cammy stepped back another few feet from this loathsome representation of the species. Then she stopped and congratulated herself on genius. "Oh yeah, I've got it," she marveled. "Revenge, payback, retaliation, counterattack, reciprocation, reprisal, anti-pardon, vengeance, petty spiteful behavior that made a person feel great. In other words, how to make Stephanie sorry that she ever mess with Cammy's best friend." So it's time for the party. Anna and Ben arrived together. Still, after Anna and Ben had ridden together through the warm, dry night on a double-decker London-style shuttle bus ferrying passengers up through the hills of the Pacific Palisades. The seats were covered in faux mink slipcovers, embroidered in pink thread with Pashmina and Stephanie's name, the date, and the coat of arms of Pacific Palisades High School. And then finally onto the long private driveway up to Pashmina's estate, high above the Pacific. Anna had only one word to describe what she was seeing. "Wow." "I gotta agree," Ben laughed. "This rivals Sam's digs, only better, because it's right over the ocean." "Well then, I'm sure Sam will buy an ocean immediately," Anna joked, snuggling to his shoulder. They got up to Secret Service. "Welcome! You're Ben Birnbaum and Anna Percy, right? We've been expecting you. Welcome to my house." The girl greeting them was built like a midget Jesus Christ! The girl greeting them was built like a little person sumo wrestler with dark hair that had been flat ironed into submission, the smooth olive skin. She wore a bowling shirt from Mar Vista Bolo Dome and white cotton painter's pants from Osh Hardware. "I'm Pashmina, your hostess. I'm so glad you're here, Anna. You too, Ben." Anna was taken a bit aback. Clearly the security guy had warned Pashmina that she and Ben were about to enter. "Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here." "Don't thank me. Thank Daddy. He's a genius. He practically invented the internet." Pashmina looked Anna up and down, and then her eyes narrowed, her gracious hostess face a thing of the past. "Didn't anyone tell you about the price tag rule for your outfits? You don't want your school to forfeit, do you?" She touched the fabric of Anna's dress. "Oh, I see. It really is cheap shit." "Well, okay then." She smiled, radiant host once again. "Have fun. Dee Young and her boyfriend are out there. What is she taking? I swear, she was totally coherent when she arrived. And Sam Sharp with that hot Spanish guy. Just between you and me, is she paying him to pretend to be her boyfriend?" "The hot Spanish guy is Eduardo," Anna filled in, her tone frosty. She was quickly learning to despise Pashmina as much as Sam and Cammy did. Sam had called her the night before, giddy that the news that she and Eduardo were back together. Anna had been thrilled to hear it, almost as thrilled as she had been to share the words that the weirdness she had felt with Ben was over. He's lucky to be her boyfriend. "Oh, relax, Anna. I was only joking. You'll see, the Pacific Palisades kids don't bite. Food's on the second floor. Fashion contest photographer at the first guest house, and the band is supposed to start in 45 minutes. Here's a schedule and a map, because this place is, like, huge." A description of Sam's outfit. She turned. Sam was coming towards her, grinning happily, wearing her black stretch pants and fuzzy off-the-shoulder sweater. "I'm so happy, even in this piece of shit outfit." She threw herself into Anna's arms. Eduardo stood behind her, gazing at Sam as if she were more than precious than all the art in this outsized home. Anna knew that look from Ben. She had missed it so much earlier in the week, when things were so peculiar before them. Thank God that's over. It's good to see you, Anna, Eduardo told her. He kissed her lightly on the cheek. He wore jeans and a baby blue t-shirt under a blue polo, perfectly underdressed for the occasion. And thanks again for telling me where Sam was. The boys meet, finally. Does Marge have friends? Does Ben have friends? Or do the Ken dolls just kind of stand in a circle as the girls do the plot? Anna never feels jealous of Sam as she talks about that Ben once kissed her at a bar mitzvah. She just doesn't have it in her to feel that way about her bestie. We finally meet Stephanie Weinstock. Stephanie took Anna's hands in hers. She had a high cheekbones and a longish face with slightly too much chin, looking not unlike a much younger version of Cher. Cher had plastic surgery as a teenager. Her lips were absolutely perfect, whether they were natural or plumped up with silicone or fortified with fat sucked from her butt was impossible to determine. And her eyes were Bambi-esque, honey-colored, with eyelash extensions. She wore burnt orange faux silk sheet wrapped in complicated fabric that resulted in a pretty authentic looking sari, and there was a small orange jewel in the middle of her forehead. You're even cuter than everyone said you were. I mean it. How to respond to this flattering comment? Stephanie gave Anna no chance to respond. You know, that Sam, Cammy, D, and I used to be dear friends. Then we moved and I lost touch. I missed him so much. It was like a big, happy family reunion. Either this girl was the greatest liar Anna had ever met, or her ability to rewrite history with a straight face was impressive. Well, Pash, I tried to make it really special for you guys. So listen, Anna, you need to get down to get your photo taken for the contest, because the voting will happen in an hour. And I think of it as a running for anti-prom queen. I heard Sam won yours. That must have been really something. Got your receipts? Definitely. Great. Well, tonight, it's all about making memories. Trauma. Anna's just like, oh my god, let's fucking blow this popsicle stand and go get frisky by the fire. Yay! Because no matter how insane it got with her family, and it was bound to get insane because it always did, Ben would be the calm at the center of the storm. My man, my man, my man, my man, my baby. My man, my man. My man, my baby. Sorry. Alright, let's traumatize Anna. So, Ben is here at this high school party being like, God damn, I'm so above this, which is why I'm team, I think you can tell when a child is a child and not under the age of 18, because you immediately, upon turning 18, kind of just like, it just kind of everything that you care about in high school. High school's over. It's done. You don't need to give a shit about that anymore. Ben is like, I'm too good for this place. I'm gonna fuck my girlfriend. And then the plot happens. Two very soft, small hands clamp down over his eyes. Guess who? Fuck no, Ben thought. That's impossible. It wasn't. Blythe launched herself into his arms. Surprise! Glad to see me, lover. No. He immediately pulled her hands off of him. What are you doing here? The same thing you're doing. I got invited. She twirled to show off her outfit, jet black hair swishing against her high cheekbones. Like my dress? It's Yamamoto. I figured since I'm in college, I can wear whatever I wanted. The Yamamoto was a low-cut coral baby doll. She had paired it with thigh-high melon and raspberry suede boots. The combination was devastating, but Ben didn't give a shit. Is this some kind of joke? Do I look like I'm laughing? Come on, lighten up, Ben. It's a party. I can't believe you would show up here and... Ben and Blythe. I knew you two would find each other. Stephanie came over to them practically on the dead run, shouting to make herself heard over the pounding music. Excuse us a minute, Ben told Blythe, then took Stephanie's arm and led her towards the pool, away from the band and Blythe. What is she doing here? He asked urgently once they were out of earshot. Stephanie looked hurt. I invited a bunch of college kids because I thought you and some other people would be more comfortable. My friend Blake Goldberg goes to Princeton. Told me that you guys knew each other. That's all? That's all. Ben frowned. It seemed like a reasonable explanation, though he had no more interest in spending time with Blythe at this party than he did in Groundhog Daying his life to repeat his high school graduation experience. It's just that Anna is here. I hope you two are very happy. One of the waitstaff guys, this time dressed like a 1950s greaser clothes, offered them broiled monkfish hors d'oeuvres. Ben waved him off and peered at Blythe. You sure? What do you want, Ben? A papal blessing? She tossed her hair back. You hurt me and you know it, but I'll live. It wasn't a fatal wound. Well, that's a relief. Well, we never should have hooked up, Ben declared fervently. You can't imagine how much I regret it. Gee, thanks. I didn't mean it like that. Jesus, Ben. Why don't you take a bucket of kosher salt and rub it in? Do you ever have any idea how it makes me feel? God, I can be such an asshole. So what's your deal anyway? You put girls into mental compartments. This one is friend material and this one's girlfriend material. How did I not rate in the girlfriend box? Not great, good enough, not hot enough. What was it? It wasn't like that, Blythe. You're gorgeous. The sex was great, but what an activity on a Saturday. I mean, who am I to complain? They paid their taxes, probably. Ben froze mid-sentence. He'd seen a flash of wheat-colored hair and beige faux silk out of the corner of his eye and knew without moving a muscle. He knew, because that's just how life worked, that Anna Percy had overheard his last sentence. If ever there was a moment where he craved an earthquake would swallow him whole, it was now. Anna cries. She flees. Bad news bear. Sam is with Eduardo. Jasmine Eccles, one of the prom weenies who Sam had helped to save Beverly Hills High School prom, had just been photographed in a sheer hot pink baby doll nightie G-string combination, with a sleazy black bra underneath. With her was a tall, thin Ophelia Berman, the other main prom organizer, who wore what looked like a cheap green army camouflage rain poncho tied just over the bust. The prom weenies had already hugged Sam like a long-lost best friend. Only because Sam was in a fog of love did she suffer the embraces. Okay. She had learned that during the prom prep that Jazz and Fee weren't all bad, but it was one thing to work with the prom weenies, it was quite another to befriend them. It was hokey, yes, but it did remind Sam of the vote for prom queen. But being prom queen didn't mean she could make Stephanie her slave for the day. Being queen of the cheap threads meant she could. It was unnatural and it was silly, but she found herself wishing desperately that she would win tonight. Sing, and then Anna runs up on them. But they didn't make it much progress up to the main house before Anna came barreling towards them, eyes on the brick path, oblivious to anyone and anything. Anna? Anna looked up. Her face was the color of coarse syllable bond. What the fuck is that? Are you okay? No, I'm not okay. She was holding her elbows, arms pressed against her stomach like she'd been punched. What happened? Sam points to one of the pillows. Sit, then speak. Anna did it. Anna did sit, cross-legged on one of the pillows, and put one balled fist inside the other. Sam had never seen her like this. Just tell me what's going on. Blythe is here. Who is Blythe? And then she got it. The Blythe who Ben was dating at Princeton when you guys broke up. Anna nodded vigorously. Okay, weird that she's here, but big fucking deal. That can't be what you're so upset about. I heard them talking. They said she was gorgeous and the sex was great. Ouch. That had to hurt a little bit. A little? Anna echoed, hot tears welling up in her eyes. He told me that they were barely involved with each other, that there was nothing to end about the relationship, and that they didn't have a relationship. Well, maybe they didn't, Sam mused. Maybe they were just sex buddies. I hate that. Well, fine, hate it all you want, but that doesn't mean everyone else does. How could he tell me they weren't involved and he was sleeping with her? Because that happens sometimes with people, and you're defending him? Anna was incredulous. You're actually defending him. She flung one of the pillows across the room. He lied to me. He had the right to do anything we wanted with anyone when he wanted. You broke up, but he should have told me the truth. Just, Sam scooched closer to her friend. Listen to me, will you please? You might be totally right. I am right. But you also might not be. You guys need to sit down and talk. This is different. He wasn't honest with me then. He isn't being honest with me now, and I'm sick of it. She stood up. I'm just going to go call a cab and go home. Sam stood too. just listen to me, you know? You know what you're doing. You're pulling a goddamn aborto. Thanks, Sam. Very supportive. And it's a goddamn stupid. After he caught me kissing Park, he just walked away. He wouldn't talk to me for days. It sucked. Nope, not the same. The fuck are you afraid of? Sam exploded. God, Anna was being so dense. If you care about Ben, you'll give him a chance to explain. And if you don't like his explanation, then tell him to fuck off. Sam turned up a dimmer switch and saw the white phone on the wall near the front door. Moments later, Anna had called a cab to meet her in front of the mansion. I'll call you tomorrow, Anna promised. And if I don't call you first, Sam hugged her friend. Take my advice. Don't throw it all away over hurt feelings. Just before you find out what's really going on. Promise? I can't promise, Anna admitted, but I will think about what you said. That's the best I can do. It's good to put the shoe on the other foot for Anna. However, it's like, no, this is different. He fucked her. You did not fuck Parker. And kind of you did still cheat on your boyfriend. I didn't cheat on my boyfriend. My boyfriend didn't cheat on me. He's dishonest. He did tell her the sex was great, though. That's crazy words, though. Cammy and her Winnie the Pooh mini skirt. Nice outfit, he murmured, and squeezed Cammy's butt through the Winnie the Pooh mini skirt. Where's the honey? Teenage boys are a plague. He's like, oh my god, girl, you did fine on your SATs. Come to college. And she's like, I don't need to do college. I know everything I need to know. And he's like, what about education for education's sake? And she shrugged. I hate school. I always have. Bores the shit out of me. Next thing I know, I'm an overnight sensation on Entertainment Tonight. Why should I study ancient civilizations? If that's what you want, it is. Cammy said emphatically, acting on the theory that if the outside made a statement and her feelings would follow. The truth was, every so often she had a weird thought. Go to college and get a teaching degree. Carry on her mom's career. It'd be kind of a homage to her. Her mother had been the kindest, most altruistic person in the world. She'd been everything good and kind and sweet and loving in this world. If only she were here tonight to see her daughter graduate. Oh, God. So she's like, I gotta lock in. I cannot be depressed about my mom tonight, so it's time to fuck. Yes. It's not time to fuck. It's time to fuck Stephanie Weinstock over. Yes, it would be great to win the contest and make Stephanie her slave. But even if she didn't win, she and Sam had something cooked up that would exact long overdue justice. Sam's mother is coming into town and they are going to meet her and discuss everything that's happening. Ben walks through and is like, I can't find Anna. And he's like, God damn it. She's like, okay. I guess those two are having problems. Hey everyone, Stephanie and I want to thank you guys so much for coming tonight. The crowd cheered. Then Pashmina went on and on about how the ballot had been so close and they had to count and recount the votes. Who's going to win? Cammy turned to Stephanie. Stephanie had stepped up behind them. Oh, you definitely, Cammy declared, catching Sam's eye at the same time. They knew what was coming later, and after all the winner was crowned, Stephanie didn't. Sam? Stephanie asked. You know who's the slave's going to be no matter who wins from my school? Go look in the mirror, if you can find one big enough. Could you really suck any harder? Sam swallowed slowly, trying to restrain herself. Yeah, I could have invited that girl Blythe tonight just to mess up things between your buddy Anna Percy and her boyfriend. Oops! Stephanie smacked herself on the forehead. How can I forget? I did. Cammy stifled a grin. Well, that explained Ben-Anna drama. Now, not that she wouldn't make Stephanie her slave. On stage, a bald accountant type handed Pashmina a large white envelope, then stepped to the back of the stage. Okay, time to announce our winner. Pashmina gleefully tore open the envelope. The winner is... She pried the envelope open, stared more closely, and frowned mightily. It's me, Cammy thought gleefully. Across the room, one of the boys from PHHS she'd flirted with gave her a big thumbs up. Fee Berman? Who the hell is Fee Berman? It's me! I won! Fee squealed. She pushed through the crowd and leapt onto the stage and threw her arms around Pashmina. I really won! But you're wearing a poncho. Pashmina sputtered. Not anymore. Fee flung the poncho over her head, and it fluttered like a parachute into the crowd. Underneath was a matching camouflage bikini that had been painted onto her naked skin. In other words, she was naked. I totally underestimated that girl, Cammy marveled as the guys in the audience whooped in cheers. Fee held her hands over her head like a boxer. She's got nerve, I'll give her that, Sam agreed. Not to mention a killer body. Who knew? Fee stepped up from the stage. Cammy watched with not a little pleasure as Stephanie confronted her. I really don't think it's fair. You didn't buy cheap threads. You bought body paint. I bought both. Hurts to lose, doesn't it? Fee crooned sympathetically. But this is going to hurt even more. She turned to the crowd and cupped her hands. As my personal slave for the day, I pick you, Stephanie Weinstock. No fucking way, Stephanie spat over cheers from the Beverly Hills kids. I only invited you as a joke. Fee retrieved her poncho, dropped it over her head again, and peered down at her feet. They were shod in cheap bamboo thongs. Wow. Right now I need a foot massage before dessert. What are you doing standing up? Sit on the edge of the goddamn stage and rub my goddamn feet. Whoa. Fine. Cammy grinned. She hadn't won, but Stephanie was going to be the slave to a prom weenie. Better that than, Stephanie Winecock, where the hell are you? The room fell silent. A behemoth of a man, easily 6'5", 275 pounds, pushed into the skylight room. His curly hair was disheveled and his beard was 5 days overdue for a shave. He wore a ragged t-shirt that advertised peace through superior firepower and cut-off jeans. His flip-flops left a trail of mud on the glass floor, and the same mud that was caked onto his feet. In each hand he carried a huge, open, blue and white Foster's beer can. Stephanie, where are you? The behemoth didn't speak. He bellowed. Instantly, Stephanie was on her feet to confront the intruder. Who the fuck are you? How'd you get in? Oh, sure, the guy sneered, stomping towards her. Act like you don't know me, after you're all over me and spent every night with me the last month in Antigua, and promised you'd come back after school's over and spend the entire summer with me. Cammy might have paid a guy. No. One of the Fosters... This huge guy shook his head in disbelief, then lifted one of the Fosters to his lips and took a drink that seemed to go on forever, then flung the can against one of the walls. This is bullshit! Total bullshit. Complete and utter bullshit. And could someone back me up on this goddamn beer? That's it, Stephanie fumed. She dug into her pocketbook for herself. I'm calling security. What for? To take you to the fucking zoo? Once again, the crowd broke into laughter. The guy drained the second Foster's can, dropped it at Stephanie's feet, and belched loud enough to be heard in Swallyland? Know what? You have to call security, because I'm out of here. He took a step back towards the door, and then stopped and rolled around towards Stephanie. Oh shit! With those words, he projectile vomited the contents of the two Foster's cans and probably several others in Stephanie's direction. As Stephanie screamed in disgust and outrage, Cammy smiled knowingly at Sam. Yep, revenge was really better served cold. So Anna's back home and is weepy. She said some flowers appear and she's like, it's from Ben. And actually, it's not from Ben, it's from Kane. And her sister's like, who's Kane? Kane leaves some erudite, well-read notes for her, quoting Oscar Wilde. All of us are in the gutter, but some of us are looking to the stars. Oscar Wilde wrote that. It was a quote under my senior photo, and I'm still trying to live it down. Hopefully graduation tonight is endurable. Time to move on to real life. Kane. Susan's like, oh my god, who's this yummy tubster? And she's just like, we're Dad's intern, we're just friends. Of course, Susan agreed. You're too straight to do one guy behind another guy's back. Want them in a vase? She's like, she's so rigid the moment her family comes involved that she kind of loses all of her floaty Californianisms. But Ben calls and is like, I should have told you. He stared into the tiny espresso cup in his hands. They were sitting together, but quite apart, on a huge green velvet couch at the Cameo bar at the Viceroy Hotel in Santa Monica. I should have told you, Anna sighed. How many boyfriends had used those exact same words with how many girlfriends? Funny how they'd never gotten used. They gotten used until the person got caught. I'm being as honest as I can, Anna. Ben was leaning forward, his arms resting on the table. Blythe and I were just friends. We got wasted one night and had wasted friend sex. That's all it was. We both agreed. I guess she didn't get the memo, Anna said coolly. Ben shook his head. He wore baggy jeans and sky blue polo, and his hair was disheveled. He looked as if he hadn't slept. I've been asking myself over and over again, did I do or say anything to make her think we had something going on? You had sex with her, Ben. She leaned back on the couch and crossed her legs away from him. Most girls take that as a sign of involvement. Actually, you're completely wrong. He sipped his espresso and then set it down on the lucite table. I know you do, but other people don't. When it happened, you and I weren't together, and I had no way of knowing we'd get back together either. Oh, that's so disingenuous. You just don't get it, Ben. I don't think you should have had sex with her unless you loved her. You can call me old-fashioned or the moral police or whatever flippant thing you want to call me. I really don't care. That's between the two of you, Anna went on. When you came to Las Vegas to see me, I asked you again and again what was going on between you and Blythe. I told you the truth. No, you didn't. So they're just going to go back and forth on this. And Anna decides that Anna's just going to do Anna. She's like, you know what? We're good. But if you're going to be a slut, I'm going to be a slut. And she's like, what? It's like, when will you forgive me? She's like, I don't know. Maybe never. And so then she calls up, she's gonna soak, but then she calls up Kane to hang out. Because what the fuck else is there to do? She literally goes to the office to thank him in person for her flowers. That's okay. I didn't come to see him, actually. Is Kane Manning around? Your dad's intern? Absolutely. I'll buzz him. I wanted to thank you in person for the flowers, she told him as she sat down across from him. That was unbelievably thoughtful of you. I have my moments. I'm glad you like them. Friends. All week, Anna had just assumed that after graduation, she would go someplace with Ben and they'd spend the summer together. Now that was out. What were the alternatives? Sam would be with Eduardo, even though Anna liked the new and chemically balanced D. They weren't really friends yet. Besides, she was completely involved with Jack. And, of course, forget Cammy. What was Anna going to do all summer? And then what about after that? She'd be heading off to Yale to start all over again, make new friends, and start a whole new life. Would Ben be a part of that? Kane laced his hands behind his neck, clearly at home in his skin, and damned okay in both of his world. Why not? She could almost hear Sam's words in her head. God damn it, Anna, be an active heroine. What would an active heroine do in your situation? Anna took a deep breath. I'd like that. Kicking back with friends. Well, I hope you have a great time. And maybe we'll run into each other over the summer. Hold on. I was wondering if, well, would a friend like to hang out with a friend tonight after graduation? Could be. He peered at her more closely, but the friend who's good at reading people is wondering if there's a motivation behind this invitation. There is. It being, I had a fight with my boyfriend. Ah, yes, scowling dude from the movie line. Got that preppy thing going on. We didn't break up, she added hastily, and I'm not inviting you on a date or anything, so I'd completely understand if you didn't want to be with me under these circumstances. Got the picture. Rashomon is playing Red Rum tonight. You in? Red Rum is a new club in Hollywood. Rashomon, Asian fusion band. They kick ass. We'll have fun. How the tables had turned. Now she felt like she was the one considering an invitation. Okay. She could deal with it as long as Kane truly understood her situation. Lies of omission could be just as painful as lies of commission. I love Ben. Glad to hear it. How about after we hit the club, I know this amazing guy in Venice. You get I love Ben tattooed someplace will really hurt. You're crazy. We on? On. Ah! He's gonna pick her up after she picks up her diploma, and then she is paralyzed with giggled instead of wallowing paralyzed with inner angst. She was making decisions. She was acting like a goddamn active heroine. In fact, Sam would be proud of her. I love them as friends. I love them as friends. I love them as, they're so good. Like, I love the idea of being like, I am so attracted to this person's vibe that I think I might be gay for them. Transmuting into live and die, best friend soulmates, confusing, same-gendered friendship of youth. God, I love them together. No notes. Cammy, we're back in the Angst Hotel with Cammy and how she's like, they're waiting for Sam's mom, and Cammy's like, God, I don't actually even really remember that much about my mother. So much of Cammy's memory of her mother is built on kind of a fantasy person, someone who is only real through the eyes and memory of a child, which notably unreliable. They end up in the place, they find a guy, they talk about last night who they hired an actor who can barf on cue for the Stephanie Winecock of it all. It wasn't hard to find the cafe. The room was a utilitarian. White stools around white tables, one walnut-stained wall with shelving with souvenir tchotchkes and knickknacks from various Los Angeles attractions. A small bar at one end. Just as Sam was thinking, what if I don't even recognize her? She found herself looking at the table in the rear corner. No doubt about who was sitting there. Sam? Her mother intoned with a smile. And Cammy Shepard. I'd recognize you anywhere. Please sit. Almost mechanically. Sam took the stool from across from her mother, and Cammy sat in between them. She was a little shocked. Her mother probably had been pretty 30 pounds ago, but now looked so old. She couldn't be more than, what, late 40s? Sam realized no one in Beverly Hills ever looked like they were in their late 40s because they began having work done in their 20s. She wasn't used to seeing a female with a face with actual lines on it. The former Miss Sharp had thick, lustrous, dark hair, streaked with gray, cut into a simple bob. She had a pleasant face with a nose kind of like Bridget Fonda's, if Bridget was a lot older. Her lips were narrow, her face round. She wore a simple blue blazer over a white t-shirt and a kind of jeans that probably had elastic at the waist. As for her makeup, all Sam noted was some coral lipstick that had already crept into the corners of her mouth. A quick flick of the eyes took her to her mother's lower body. Yup, that's exactly where Sam had gotten her fat fucking ankles. The woman had left nothing behind her but her bad gene pool. You grew up, her mother observed. Her eyes held Sam's. Sam had an uncanny sensation of looking into her own. There was a carafe of coffee and 3 cups on the table, and a sad-looking basket of defrosted-looking sweet rolls and croissants. Sam's mother poured coffee for Sam and Cammy, then gently pushed the cups in their directions. I guess what happens when you don't see your daughter for 9 years, Sam offered awkwardly, but firmly stirred the packet of Splenda into her beverage. I'm going to call you Dina. I'm not comfortable with Mom, okay? Her mom nodded and turned to Cammy. Camilla. It's been a long time. Cammy crossed her legs and let one shocking pink platform shoe dangle from her toe. It has been a while. I've had a lot of time to think about things. So tell me, Dina, were you fucking my father? Dina raised her eyebrows. You're direct and to the point, I'll give you that. Oh, would you prefer polite, meaningless chit-chat? Sam would have laughed if she wasn't busy trying not to cry. Why'd you decide to come? Why are you here? Her mother put her hands in her lap. I shouldn't be surprised at your hostility, I suppose. I'm here because you wanted to see me, correct? I wanted to talk to you, yes, but I didn't expect a maternal visit as a graduation present. Sam, there's so much you don't know, Dina sighed and tapped a red-painted finger on the tabletop and then laid her hands flat as if to stop herself. Her eyes were welling up with tears. Let me tell you about myself. Would that be okay? I live in a small town about a half hour from Asheville, North Carolina, she began tentatively. It's called East Flat Rock. I run the living section of our local newspaper. And my husband's name is Victor Weller. He sells life insurance. Sam hardened and glanced at the simple gold band on her mother's ring finger. How many stepbrothers and siblings do I have? None. You might take Ruby Hummingbird then, Cammy offered, readjusting her legs. Jackson and Poppy's new spawn. Sam's house would be much more pleasant without her. I don't think that'd be a very good idea. Different people are good and bad at different things. I think I'm a very good wife, and I'm a very good editor. I tutor immigrants from Mexico in English, and I volunteer at the hospice in Hendersonville. But the truth is, I was a terrible mother. Sam was shocked by the blunt honesty of her mother's remarks. Good to know we agree about some things. Sam. Her mom laced her fingers. I came to Hollywood right out of Penn State. I got hired at the Times. I wanted to be a screenwriter. Instead of finding a career I loved, I found your father. Should we set the sob story to music? I haven't seen you in 9 years, and I'm trying to explain. I got caught up in the glitz and glamour. It was so seductive. Some people can handle it, thrive on it, I suppose. I'm not one of them. Drugs, booze, sex. I thought that's what everyone did. It nearly killed me. You want me to feel sorry for you? Sam's voice was small. I didn't ask to be born. You're right. You deserve better. The table was silent. That's it, Sam Curie? That's all you have to say? What about Cammie's? I've got it, Sam. The night my mother drowned on the Striker's yacht, you were there. We know that. Mm-hmm. You were screwing my father. Dina hesitated and slowly nodded. Here's my question, Dina. Who killed my mother? You, Clark, or both of you? Dina recoiled. My God, that's what you think? We had nothing to do with it. We were young and stupid and shallow. I don't have any excuses. Sleeping with Clark was an idiotic thing to do. But you must know that that had nothing to do with why your mother died. She never even knew about it. Your mother was clinically depressed. Surely your father told you that. Clinically depressed? What was Dina talking about? No, she wasn't. Cammie, you only knew your mother as a little girl, which means that you only saw one side of her, the side that a child sees. I met your mother soon after Jax and I were married. Before she had you and I had Sam, we did everything together. Skied at Lake Tahoe, hiked in the Alps. I loved her. I adored her. Sam found herself leaning forward, as if her mother was giving her a window into another world. She loved you, Cammie. She used to carry you everywhere. I used to be riveted just watching her with you, especially considering my own shortcomings as a mother. It was amazing. She doesn't sound clinically depressed. Things changed, Dina went on slowly, when you were in second grade about. What changed? Your mom. There were days at a time that she wouldn't go out of the house, weeks even. Sam had known Janine Shepherd was racked with... She racked her memory of any sign that her mother was telling the truth. Nothing. No, Cammie was adamant. Mom was not like that. She was a school teacher. She had to go to school. She couldn't just stay home. It wasn't that she couldn't leave home. It was that she was clinically depressed. She saw many therapists. Ask your father, Cammie. He'll tell you. Woof. Your mother loved you so much, Cammie. She was as good a mother as I was bad. Some people don't deserve to take credit for how wonderful their children turn out to be. Unfortunately, one of them gave birth to you. And I came to see you because I hoped now that you're about to graduate from high school, that we might get to know each other as adults. I hope that's why you wanted me to be here now. I was a weak mother, and that's why my husband and I never had children. But I can be a really good friend. Sam leaned over the table towards her. I'm very glad you came here. I really am. But I can't forget that the only reason you're here is because I had to hire a detective to track you down. I have friends. She looked pointedly at Cammie. Good friends. Friends I'd do anything for. What I don't have is a mother. I know you said you're a terrible mom. Well, little kids have moms. Grown-up women have mothers. When you're ready to be my mother, I'd love to talk to you some more. She stood up and looked at Cammie. Shit. Her friend was finally reacting. Her face was that of someone who had just been handed a diagnosis of pancreatic cancer or something else life-altering. Shocked and stunned. Come on, my friend. I think we should go. Ugh! Sam is such a good character. She's a much better character than Anna. Anna is on a romance journey. Sam is on a journey of maturity of the self. She's doing shit. She's great. It's graduation time. Fucking High School Musical. It's graduation. It's graduation. It's impossible to see Anna's family in the darkness of the auditorium. Sam tells Anna that Stephanie Winecock set her up and that it's not the right time to be angsty. We are graduating high school. And be honest, I couldn't just leave my high school of origin during the last semester unless I got a really good opportunity, because I want my diploma to say where my work was. Cammie motions to the back of the theater, and there's Dee wiggling around in her little cap and gown because she technically did not finish yet. There's too many things. It's now time for Anna to get her diploma. Sam nudged her. Get your ass up there. It was the strangest thing. Anna felt like she was watching herself as she edged her way across the floorboards to the stage towards the podium where Kwan was standing with the Board of Education president handing parchment diplomas to the graduates as they filed by. Life is a series of passages, and now I'm on to the next. Was it worth it to leave her New York friends and life behind? So much had changed, and there had been a boy in Manhattan. I don't care. We don't care about Scott anymore. But yeah, she's moved on from one heartbreak to another. No more high school heartbreak. Now it's time for young adult heartbreak, where your boyfriends keep fucking bitches. Dee meets up with Jack, and they go and fuck in the teacher's lounge. It's the last place she wanted to go fuck it. They talk about how much they like each other and how much they mean to each other. Jack felt her move away from him far enough so that she could look into his eyes. Okay, I'll just say it. I think we should go back to New Jersey so that we can do it in your bed where you grew up. What? Come again? I'd really like to meet your family. You know, your parents, and especially your sister. I don't really think sex in my very kid-sized bed is the best. I think your parents should meet me, Dee went on. That's what you do when you're really in love, right? We're going to be together forever, 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 Jack. I can just feel it. Can't you? We're going to be so happy. And he begins the bachelor run. Given he's like 19, 20. Girl, let him run. Shit. Tomorrow they'd have a serious talk. He really did care about her, but those words... He could practically feel the noose tightening around his neck. Tomorrow he would set her straight. Hopefully without breaking her heart in the process. He does not. Cammy wandering around. Her father is not there because there was a thing with the merger with Paradigm. And he just couldn't be there. But Adam's parents allow her to come along. And I think even if they weren't dating, they still probably would have brought her along. Because they like Cammy. And Cammy likes Mr. Flood. But... Cammy has something that is a surprise. She's like, hey, do you have time for a second? And he's like, we're not gonna go have sex in the gym. And she's like, no, don't worry about it. And she got him some free throw shooting time with an NBA all-star player that I don't care enough to read about. It was so cute. She's a good girlfriend. She's trying to be better. That's all you can hope to do. Is be better than your parents. The stage was still empty. The graduation ceremony ended. Still, one lone graduate sat in the chair she had occupied throughout the night. Sam couldn't face what awaited her outside the auditorium doors. Her father and Poppy. She had seen them depart. Even worse, her mother who had shown up. Eduardo, who was out there too. Thank God for that. If only the two of them could slip away invisibly past the family psychodrama. How good would that be? She'd had the chance to talk to him briefly about all the family insanity, but he'd been too busy at the consulate to hear all the details. He shows up, and he's got tickets to Peru. He's taking her to Peru to meet his family! He's so serious about her. He's deeply serious about his white girl. his dummy thick white girl he is taking home to Peru. Anna goes outside and is like... waiting for Kane to come pick her up. And then she's just kind of sitting out there. And then there's Ben. Congratulations on your graduation. Anna looked over at the next bench. Ben was sitting there in faded jeans and a white t-shirt under a light red cotton jacket. She felt herself turn to something less than solid, the ground sliding beneath her. What good was it to say she was in control with him when she'd just seen him? Made her want to fling herself into his arms. I came. Feel any different? So, he had been there. Funny how she hadn't sensed his presence. Creepy. Relieved, I guess. You weren't a big fan of high school, huh? It was an art I never really mastered. Pep rallies and gossip and who broke up with whom. Snob, he teased. She nodded seriously and flexed her calf muscles. I suppose I am in some ways. Not about class, at least. I hope not. But about, I don't know, seriousness? Purpose? Intellect? You have to admit, I brought fun into your life. Yes, you did. But as she's sitting there, he's like, can I take you somewhere? Kane rolls up, and she's like, actually, no. I'm gonna go do active heroin. And leaves him. Anna looked up. Kane was leaning out of the driver's side window of his blue Ford F-150 pickup truck. His eyes flittered from Ben to Anna, and back to Anna questioning. This guy from the movie line? Ben was aghast. Tell me you're not going out with him. I'm not. Not in a way you think. He's my friend. Come on, blow him off. I could, but I'm not going to. Thank you for coming. We'll talk soon. And thus, Anna enters her got hose arc. She is juggling sluts. She's juggling sluts! The truck inched forward. So you're good? Was she? Tonight was an ending. Not so much with Ben, but of her high school self. Tomorrow would be something else. She hoped Ben would be a part of that. But this time, she'd be the active heroine, the one behind the wheel. Was she good? Yes. Yes, she told Kane as they finally made it to the end of the driveway. She realized just how true it was. The summer, new adventures, Yale, her entire life. All of that lay ahead of her. She was very good. Fucking done! Brown. Brown. We got 3 more Click books. Click books. All the books are the Click. We've got 3 more A-list books, and then we've got 3 other A-list books in the series. So we have 6 more months of A-list that I have to get through. God. I love that we're watching these brains firm up in real time. I am excited. It's October now. This will come out at the end of October. I'm excited to tell you all that I will be starting Gossip Girl in January. The videos obviously won't come out until maybe June, but it is starting. We are covering. Let's friendship max the house down boots, guys. I'm so excited. All right, let me know what your thoughts on this book were. Graduation. There's a bigger bitch than Sam and Cammy. Stephanie Winecock is a massy blot. Money solves all problems. I've been thinking a lot about a lot of criticisms for the genre of this book. It's all connected to the like Disney ate my daughter, where it's like depiction does not mean condone. And every critique of these books that I saw, like some of these are not well written. Somewhere in here we got really poorly written. I don't know. These last couple were better. But to say that it's teaching teenage girls to be drunken sluts totally misses the point. And I'm going to scream that from every rooftop until I am hoarse in the throat and dead in the ground. But we can have more of that conversation if you follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Megan_Blush. Megan_Blush_ on all socials. I don't know why that's so hard for me recently. I don't know, man. Check out my mums. I love these bitches. I love these bitches down. You're so pretty. Alright, my pretty birds. I'll talk to you later, pretty birds. Pretty birds. Bye.